I'll unmute all the audio and swoosh into the stream. Sorry, swoosh into the VRAINS. Hi, howdy everybody, it's Portrayal. So I'm pretty sure last week, when we finally did Ancient Warriors, and I can't remember if that was the episode me and Dallas talked about JoJo for 30 minutes or not. The joke there is that could be many streams.
Can't believe rating kept me from one of my favorite archetypes to talk about, but all of it.
Well, you can always, check out the VODs. You could leave a comment if you think we're being stupid. Honestly, I think that we to recap on that a little, Ancient Warriors was very fascinating to talk about because Dallas kind of talked about what it's one of the decks he plays in Master Duel, so he has some kind of semi-modern brews. It's a little hard to say modern about Master Duel because the format is fucking weird. Also, right now the format is bad. I'll tell you, the format's bad right now. Malice Ryziel Tier 0 meta is fucking annoying.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and it's not getting better because I think the selection pack that's about to go live is just the new Ad Ignister stuff, which just makes Malice better, so meh. Meanwhile, in paper, the Jush format's really cool. People really like Draco Tail K9 Yummy, and the tag-on of Vanquish Soul is good now.
Yeah, Omega, this this sounds like an incredible format. Surely Konami won't something that shake the very thick of the game.
That broke up a little on my end, but I get the joke. Yes, I was thinking we should talk about that. Yeah, so they did change the rules. I did want to say, though, to finish my thought on Ancient Warriors real quick, though, it's very interesting to hear it talked about because, basically what Dallas called it nowadays is basically, budget Tenpai. You just blind go second and slam the OTK. And it's once he said that and I was reading the old cards, I'm like, no, this makes total sense. This is, one of Konami's early, tech tree iterations of this deck, and then they realized later how to turn it into something different. But also, Tenpai is clearly, for the players anyway, clearly too overtuned because people got upset. But yes. Chat. Konami, hey, remember when they changed the time rules? And then they were like, this is only for Worlds. We'll see if it happens later. It happened later. It's later. It happened.
Yeah, in a very similar fashion to... oh, you didn't like the rule change? We won't... Okay, well, we will not get rid of this format for you. Well, we did it anyways, though. Once you guys got over it, we changed it.
Yeah. I mean, I think they wanted to clarify, that because there were still some events going on, that they weren't necessarily enforcing it everywhere until later. But yeah, it's a really weird case. So their finalized version does have some clarity in it. So I think the original run was old enough that I think we all talked about it. But the question mark is that, if you get to the end of time on a match, which keep in mind they did make the round timer longer. It's 50 minutes now instead of 45. But they said that if you're not in a state where one player has 2 wins, the match ends in a double match loss. There's no draw. You take an L.
Which
they combine this. Go ahead.
Which in some cases leads to Prisoner's Dilemma, but that's only for
So here's the thing. Well, there's that too. Also, there's no time limit for top cuts, even in single elim. They just don't. The finals just doesn't have time rules. So, at least for the higher level events. So a lot of people are talking about the hypothetical Prisoner's Dilemma. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure if your opponent enters into a Prisoner's Dilemma with you, call over a judge. That judge will perform the Kali Ma and rip his still beating heart out. Because I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that. I think that goes against the sportsmanship and conduct rules to engage in the shit. But it is a hypothetical. There have been some funny cases.
The judge could also just give them both a match loss, which also just fucks up their stats.
Well, if the timer's not called and you think your opponent's slow playing, you call a judge and say, "Judge, my opponent is slow playing. He's not conceding the match, and he's trying to get me a double game loss." And if the judge doesn't agree, you play it out. I'm actually pretty sure the judge isn't supposed to give you both a double match loss for you just calling a judge because you think your opponent's slow playing you. Anyway, I think the primary purpose of the double match loss and stuff is that they're eliminating the draw from bookkeeping, like, period. Basically, there are other rules changes as well. There's no more drawing. And it's really interesting because obviously people were complaining about the previous time rules for years. You know, the idea that you can just get dinged by Heavy Borgor or Firecracker or whatever in, like, game 3 and then lose was not great.
It's just a very the Yu-Gi-Oh has never had good time rules, really. Like the main iteration that I think anybody who played competitive pre-Link and whatnot are familiar with is a back and forth turn thing, which went far too long and would grind some tournaments to a halt, especially depending on like some just cuts of people, like some like middle cut people just having very complicated decks. So
that's probably like the most. That's probably like the best to play, but is extra work for the judges and TOs. Because it seems like, in general, the idea seems to be that Konami's trying to streamline the process a little bit. For instance, the other thing that people were upset initially about, but I do kind of feel like that died down a little, was they altered Top Cut. Now they are only calling it Top Cut, Finals Cut, at 8. And to determine the final 8 players, they are conducting, I think it's 2 extra rounds of Swiss.
Okay.
So, on the one hand, this does mean if you are Sorry, I was about to say casual competitive. That's a little bit of an oxymoron, but hopefully Chad understands what I mean. If you are the kind of guy who is not a high-level competitive player, your chances of quote-unquote topping a large-scale tournament are probably now pretty bad. I will probably never have enough time and freedom to move around and grab a top cut. That was also probably true anyway. But I don't know. You guys could, like, send me to the moon.
Yeah, it's one of those situations of there is certainly a level of competitive player of just guys who go to their locals and are just like, oh shit, it's the like a biannual time there's a tournament in my city. I'm gonna go to that and just like get together with all my friends. Like, they're not going there with the intent to top, but shit, if they go on a run, they'll stay. You know?
Yeah.
That's a large majority of competitive players in reality.
Yeah. And the one thing I will say, though, is that it did kind of sound like this one got smoothed over a little because people just did math. Like, I saw a wave of people on Twitter being like, oh, it's really disappointing if you're like X2, you're just out, period. And then a lot of people were like, well, that's not exactly true because you have extra rounds of Swiss. So, like, it is a case where, like, once again, Yu-Gi-Oh players, not good at reading, not good at math. You still have, if you're good at the game, a decent chance to make it to finals. You're going to get a few more bubbles, and that's going to suck, but you get to play a few more rounds of Yu-Gi-Oh at least. And so it's kind of interesting to see. That one, like I said, feels like it's kind of blown over as people, like, crunch the numbers a little and go, okay. The time rules are, like, I don't know. I think some people have been, like, so worried about the, like, hypothetical guy, you know, and that hasn't so far emerged. I have seen a couple of cases where kind of, like, there have been some double losses that have been, like, publicized because people are, like, live tweeting their locals and shit, in the sense that they're, like, the two players are clearly, like, egging each other on. So it's not really a slow play. It's more just that, like, they're both mutually playing it out for the meme.
It's an unfortunate situation that's still bound to happen, but I don't think it's anywhere near as severe as everyone has kind of concocted in their brain. But it is a valid criticism of this time system. It's also just unfun that it's unfun being punished, uh, just for not basically having dominant games. Like quick dominant games are now kind of what you would want to go for ideally. And obviously there's still games, no matter what deck you play, where just a pile of dog shit. But
Yeah.
still.
Man, I like I said, I always think I don't have enough time for it. I have so many other games we're playing and other shit I'm writing, you know, tabletopping and stuff. But I always feel like, man, I should stream more Master Duel because like I need more video records of just the dog ass hands I get some days. Like I'm you know I got off playing ladder long enough that I got kicked all the way back down to bronze. So I switched back to playing Mimigul because I fucking Mimigul's so fun, chat.
It's the best.
It's so
really
so fun. They released a card that's gonna make it better. That Treasure Tiger promo. Is like
it's just that.
Yeah, that's the brand new one. It's probably in our
already
tabletop
announced.
games there. I mean, you gotta remember X. It's Konami. They're doing the thing. They announced
Panther.
what it would be called. Yeah, Treasure Panther. Is it Panther? I can't remember
Panther.
which anther it is, but it's some sort of cat. But
Let's
you
see,
also
I
got to
have it
remember
here.
they announced that they're going to do it, and then they actually printed the promo. But it's a card that supports flips, and it can summon itself if there's face downs on either field.
I'm just gonna read this right here.
Go
If
for it.
a set monster's on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, immediately off Mimigul. You can also you can use each effect once per turn. You can target up to 3 set monsters, change to attack, and then if you change 3 monsters to attack, inflict 900 to your opponent. It's also a time card. If this card is flipped face up, you can send 1 normal monster from your deck to the grave.
Yeah, I don't know what the utility
This
for
is a
that
level,
is
this
in
is a level
Mimigul
1
specifically.
Earth flip beast with 100 defense. And
But yeah, it's a level 1, so it already is Mimigul compatible. They're all 1s except for Master. And it's just like if you just draw that guy and you just draw the goats, like
what was the name of the card that let you you discard a monster to play a level 1 from deck?
1 for 1 lets you pitch a
1 for 1.
monster from hand to
It's
summon
also
any
1
level
for
1
1,
from deck.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's already
I think
already essential in Mimigul.
so. Like, if you're doing well with this game and you already have like 3 Mimiguls on your opponent's side of the field, you can't just flip all of them.
No, yeah. So it's a great card for Mimigul. But Mimigul's super fun. But yeah, I was just in bronze and like I'm playing possibly a little suboptimally. I'd have to double check what exact brew. Hardleg just put out one of his big ladder climb videos about Mimigul. It's very good. He got quite far on just playing vanilla Ghoul, not even doing the
Optimized shit?
Flame Princess like summoning curse hand rip shit. Just playing Mimigul smartly. He did eventually
You know
kind of
what?
like dead end, but you know,
I
it
appreciate
works.
that of Hardleg. He like tries the hardest just to like do the spirit of it.
He even says later that like he like changed the brew a little to include like some Kashtira stuff. And what was the one before that? Oh, it was Dogmatica Mimigul, playing like Dogmatica Ritual as like a package. But because you barely need your extra deck in Mimigul. So like, and he said, I think this is a side grade actually. I think pure Mimigul is actually like, if not the more optimal build, an equally strong build. But you know, we're trying to switch it up because you're watching, you know, highlights of him streaming for like a whole month to do this. But no, Mimigul's pretty decent. But I have mine diluted down to like 45 cards just to spread some shit out. And like, you still get some hands where you're just like, oh, thanks, game. I've lost 3 coin flips in a row. I finally get to go first. And then I've drawn Crossy, Imperm, like Mimigul Fairy, which isn't even a starter. And then like, I don't know, you know, Fualos. I don't hate Fualos because other people play it. I have to play Fualos. I'm tired of seeing that little fucker on turn 1. And I'm just like, you're a dead card. You stupid son of a bitch. Why are you here? Come
It's
back
just
when I'm going
it's
second.
C2. People love
I mean,
love it, hate it so much they made a sequel.
It kind of is, but also like, honestly, the Mulch armies are way better than Maxi because you can play around them. Somebody I was playing Mimigul and somebody like shotgun Meowls on me, which is the Banishing Graveyard, and I was just like, okay, buddy, I don't care, I don't do that. Like honestly, the one that gets Mimigul is Perulia, which is from hand, but people don't play that one as much. But no, like that's what I say about streaming. But okay, let's if we don't have too much further to talk about the rules changes, there's no ban list yet. I've heard that unfortunately many of you have gone back to posting vomiting horses. Cool, great.
Something else in your life, guys.
If I was the ban list intern, I would probably delay it an hour every single time I saw a vomiting horse. Like, just because I get what you're going for, but it's real gross. Also, I think it's an AI generated image, so you can't even, like, it's not even a classic Photoshop. But no ban list news yet. A lot of people don't really know what the ban list is going to be like because, like we said way earlier at the start of the stream, the paper format's pretty good right now. Like, there's a couple of cards that are a little expensive, but they're not, like, crazy. Like, yeah, you don't want to be playing, like, $40 for Mulch Armies because that's, like, over $100 for a full set. But it's not like they're, like, $90 a pop. Because we'll probably talk about Access Code Talker tonight. How expensive did that guy get at his peak? Like, that card was pricey.
I
80 to 100,
think he
more?
spikes. He definitely spiked triple digits.
Yeah, there were some formats where he spiked really high. So, like, it's not, like, an atrociously bad format. There's a wide variety of different decks you can be playing and crazy different brews. I literally just retweeted today. Somebody got, like, a top 4 cut at something with a Draco Tail Canine hybrid. Do you want to know what the bridge card that brings those two strategies together is?
What?
It's that newer, I should say, level 5 Amazoness who can special summon herself and searches polymerization. So she's a level 5 Earth which searches poly. And that's it. That's all it takes, chat. Yeah, so it's a fun time. But I would like to if you may be wondering how did we arrive at technically Cyberse Slop. We'll do Code Talkers too, but those guys are mostly in the extra deck, so you need a little bit of setup to get in there. So some of you may recall, roughly 1 million years ago, actually literally like 3 months ago, we were previously embarking on a series where I used structure decks as kind of a bouncing off point. The last one of those we did was Lair of Darkness. Pretty sure that episode was good. Then for like a month and a half, we did Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering. And then most recently, we caught up with the deck build pack. So we talked about Justice Hunters.
Yep.
And then I was looking at the decks. And we can't really say we're talking about one structure deck today because... Chad, I don't know if you know this. Konami really wanted you to play Link Monsters.
The point
I shit you not, I think like 4 or 5 between starter and structure decks. There are about 4 or 5 Link-focused decks. Technically, I think there was an extra one in the OCG that got broken up in the TCG. Probably because Konami of America was like, we cannot sell a third Link structure deck. It will not happen.
Unless.
No, they turned it into Fists of the Gadgets. So,
Yeah.
I like that deck.
So, like, they tried really, really hard to push Link monsters in general and the Cyberse type in specific, which makes sense. You know, it's a brand new typing that's being tied into a new anime, so you need to, like, accrue a decent volume of cards. But they really did go crazy style on it. So there's a shitload of them, and we are probably going to have one of the loosier-goosier episodes of FP as a result. But I think it's a good jumping-on point to talk about Cyberse and Cyberse Link as a concept. I do want to say, specifically, so we're not talking about Ad Ignister yet, because that is actually like a whole built archetype. And we're not talking about Firewall Dragon and Firewall Dragon accessories, because that guy kind of started as like an ace monster, but then has turned into a weird archetype thing as well.
He became his own ball of slop.
Yes. And so if chat would like it, and if the rest of the hosts are okay with it, I would be totally down to use this as a jumping off point to talk about stuff like Firewall Dragon and you know, the times they had to retrain him. Ad Ignister is actually a very interesting like version of the Cyberse deck. And also even possibly a jump into Rocket/Dragon Link, which has been, you know, competitive for an incredibly long amount of time, including soon again, because they announced a whole shitload of new rockets.
I think we can virtually use this episode to go into any direction, like even from after this, because guys, there's so much cyber slop. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I don't even know if we're
did
going to
not
talk about
play
all the
during-
names I pulled up today, because, like, let me run this down for you, chat. So, there's Code Talkers, starting with Decode Talker, which is basically the semi-generic Cyberse extra deck guys, the extra link guys, used by the VRAINS protagonist, which are kind of one of his signature monsters, but are also not supposed to be, because that's supposed to be Firewall Dragon. But also, Firewall Dragon got banned because he was very, very good.
Yeah, so a good way to run down Cyberse as a typing, Wall Omega, kind of. What are we going to start with first? Like,
I would figure
where
we
are
would
we?
probably start with the original run of Code Talkers, because that was a feature of all these starter and structure decks. You basically got a completely different Code Talker free with purchase. So there's like 6 of these guys right out the gate. They were all in the first couple of years, and then I have basically 2 categories of the generic Cyberse guys, one of which I don't even think I've got all the members of, but I hunted down all the ones that were printed in these early structure decks. We've got the kind of like weird cyber animal guys, like Cleant,
Ram Claudia.
Rom Claudia, Ram Clouder, who are 2 different guys, Pentastag, shit like that. Then there's the block of just Cyberse people. Backup
like
secretary. There's like 6 different guys at least who are named Cyberse something, like Cyberse White Hat, Lady Debug, shit like that.
The best way to describe a Cyberse archetype is that someone went really, really wild with tech puns, guys. This is the entire joke. This is the entire inspiration of this like this typing, this creature, this monster type.
And then there is also specifically a spell trap only support archetype called Cynet, which I think was like Cybernet or something else in the OCG. We'll see it when we get there. But so there's a whole sleeve of semi-generic Cyber support cards, many of which have been incredibly useful at various times. For instance, you have probably heard of Cynet Mining, which is the Cyber Searcher. So, like, there's a lot of stuff. For the moment, I've pulled up, as an example, the first of the Cynet cards. Yes, it was Cybernet. Which, if you pronounce that in Japanese, is Cyberneto. But Cynet, I think, flows a little better. Because they immediately gave these guys a field spell. Except it's not even, because Cynet Universe is actually a super generic Link monster field spell. So if you don't know, this says all Link monsters you control gain 300 attack. Once per turn, target a monster in your graveyard, shuffle it in the deck. If this card is destroyed by a card effect, send all monsters in the extra monster zones to the graveyard. That's it. This is the original Link monster field spell thing. This card was printed twice in the 2 Link starter decks, and that's it. So not really anything to write home about, but I think it kind of shows you where they're at. Play Link monsters, damn it.
I mean, yeah, because another thing to kind of like, because I guess at this point there are people who have played Yu-Gi-Oh that have not played during Link era. Isn't that fun to think about, guys?
The Link era has never really
like
ended in a
5
weird way,
years.
but
Yeah.
I mean, no, it has, because they did change Master Rules.
Okay,
no,
fair,
5
like,
years since the Master
I
Rules
guess
changed.
the Link's
The
only
VRAINS anime
rule.
ended, and they switched the Master Rule, so we're
Yeah,
in
during-
a new epoch.
During the era where VRAINS was the currently running anime, you could only summon monsters from the extra deck if in the extra monster zone or in zones that Link monsters pointed to. Nowadays, it's just pendulums, but that's because it was their way of kneecapping pendulums, and they went, you know what, we actually really like that idea for pendulums, because if we go back to normal, pendulums are still a fucking problem. So they just let pendulums keep that restriction.
Also,
think-
quite frankly, Konami hates pendulums. Like, literally every card they print these days is, like, secretly a pendulum fuck you. People have already pointed out that you can use the brand new, they made a second Magical Musket Link. But one of his abilities is to set a card to your opponent's field. So you could just block up their pendulum zones with, like, a Link 2.
Funny.
And it's just like, cool, great, why? I don't know. Maybe I know they want to like simplify the game state. Maybe we should bring back the separate pendulum zones and keep it so you can only summon pendulums from the extra deck to zones a Link monster points to, just so that we stop fucking with scales.
I mean, yeah, like I honestly just think at this point, I think it is fine to have the pendulum zones back. It's like it's going to make the board to sit look even more ugly with the Link Zone and pendulum zones, but it's fine. Just let it happen.
So let's put up Decode Talker, who has a couple of alt arts. Let's see if I can grab them all.
And Decode's the OG. He's pretty nice looking still.
Yeah.
He's got like he's got the line effects that everything I think ever since like Tron or other like reboot or like other like CGI like animation stuff, like that effect that just kind of became popular of like that idea of cyberspace.
And he looks like a normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Magical Nightman, just cyberized.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did a good job with the early like the very first early run of the Cyberse, because like Decode Talker just has protagonist monster look. I don't know how to describe it, but you all know what I mean.
Yeah, he looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster.
Yeah.
Is one of the one of the best ways to say it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the weird thing on his back hat that goes way up, huge shoulders, like multi-level shoulder pads, you know. So yeah, the whole thing is very Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, I believe his helmet resembles, you know, the player's hair. Sakusa, like it's doing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Things. This is basically. What if during the like dual world or like, you know, Big 5 virtual world arc, Dark Magician became Cyber Dark Magician, basically, with extra Konami orbs.
Also, I was gonna get to the Konami orbs. I think the orbs are we're on the cusp of too much, but it's okay. We're okay.
We're at peak orb saturation.
Yeah.
If you added one singular more orb, the whole pile of them just comes down.
Peak orb saturation is a term
they're very like obvious. Like you notice them and you're like, man, that's a lot of orbs. But I do kind of agree that I don't go, well, that's clearly too many orbs. You're just like, boy, this guy's got a lot of orbs.
Yeah, it feels like they did find a line to ride to still give that modern Konami look, so to speak, but we're not at late stage Odd Eyes where we're what's the word, just reveling in the orbs.
Yeah,
so much.
It's just where you know the Odd Eyes monster has a giant like seraphic triple pendulum semicircle, you know, halo behind him, and each of them has like 9 orbs that are 3 different colors, and you're just like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
That guy is made of bones, and his feet are shaped like the letter H.
Unspeakable horrors.
Yeah, I'm so glad we have done the Pendulum Dragon episodes already, and I hopefully never have to look at some of those guys up close again, because I think this may be another reason why, like, game design-wise, I understand there are problems with Pendulums, but I do think that Pendulum is an overhated era. Because there are a lot of really cool decks came out in Pendulum, but I do think specifically the art style of the anime Pendulum Dragons is just, like, some of those are just peak nightmare, you know, just nightmare, and it's like, I don't...
Orb!
Yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe the art team thought they looked better as 3D models. But this is Decode Talker. pretty solid
I
guy.
would say, one more touch on that. Half the dragons you saw were not even in the anime. They were just made to look like that because.
Well, it's because it was
That's
the
true,
aesthetic
that's
at the
true.
time.
Yeah,
So
they just kind
others
of
like-
added some extras. But yeah, so Decode
Yeah.
Talker is a Dark Cyberse Link 3. Has 2300 attack normally, so a little under a classic, protagonist monster. Has the classic Link 3 triangular arrows. This is one thing I'll say. You'll probably see it with a few of these Code Talkers, especially the early ones. Konami really didn't know what they were doing with Link arrows yet, so some of them get a little quirky with it. This one I think I like for reasons we'll talk about when we talk about its effect, but definitely the kind of like triangular, 1 forward, 2 back arrows is not as popular these days to just the 3 down, but there is room for a lot of funny things they can do. So Decode Talker requires 2+ effect monsters, so you can actually link climb. There are a couple of the early alternate Code Talkers who are like exactly 3. So you can link climb this one. It just has to be effect monsters.
They were still
Gains
kind of like trying to
500
find a balance for Kotalker design.
Yeah. Gains 500 attack for each monster it points to. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card you control, quick effect, you can tribute a monster this card points to, negate its activation. If you do, destroy that card. So for, 2017 when this was first printed, we've literally just launched the Link era. This is like one of the iconic guys you can get in starter deck Link Strike, They're like, here's a new starter deck to start this new era of Yu-Gi-Oh! This is pretty alright.
It's what? It's a Cyberse, Talker, and Mrs. Radiant.
Yeah.
Are the like 2 singular generic Link monsters in the game at this time?
Yeah, let me see. Let me actually check what came out in the deck.
There's Gaia Saber, which is
That's
like
right, Gaia Saber, who was in one of the ones. Yeah, that guy was completely generic, and he's just a Link 3 that's like 2600 attack, nothing else.
He's just the Link arrows.
But yeah, the other 2 Link monsters that came in this starter deck were Honeybot, which I think is 2 Cyberse, and Link Spider, of course, who is in my list because he's very infamous, but Link Spider is very clearly 1 normal monster. Because I do want to say, yes, Honeybot is exactly 2 Cyberse monsters. Also, Honeybot is one of those 2s that has the left and right arrows, which is like, we've literally just started the Link era. Nobody has developed the brain space for fucking left and right arrow plays yet.
I mean, technically, that was always the goal of, like, I think some early things, like, doing the fucking U-Link.
Well, yeah, the U-Link was very showy, and it could be pulled off. It was not always as much of a killer as I think people like to say it was, but it was very cool, and they did have a name for it in, like, the anime, so, like, it was a known technique. But I also don't think people were U-Linking, like, right out the gate,
No, that's fair.
U-Linking was like figured out at the same time that they like the game. The game, Konami did not properly like introduce it as a mechanic until like a few months in. Once the anime got to it, it was one of those weird like it always existed as a mechanic, but we just never explained it.
Yeah, it was a thing that at some point the writers were like, "Hey, we can do this," and then actually, hit you with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and by the way, I should mention, Decode Talker is on the cover of that starter deck I mentioned. But yeah, so for one of your, like, generic-ish Link monsters, one of the first Link 3s everybody's going to have access to, pretty solid. Gains 500 attack. Spoilers for a lot of the Cyberse monsters we will be talking about today. If you have to give Cyberse, like, a theme as like, a type, and not all types have themes, but some of them do seem a little thematic. Cyberse's main thing was obviously they were supposed to go into Links. They did kind of have a, like, shift later where they introduced at least a couple of, like, Cyberse rituals, Cyberse fusions, Cyberse exceeds, etc. But Cyberse were supposed to go into Links, and therefore were supposed to be really good at Link climbing. So many of them have effects either when sent from Graveyard or specifically when sent as Link material. So putting guys in your arrows, not crazy, which means you can boost this guy up. He's got 3 arrows, so technically you can give him 1,500 extra attack if your opponent's dumb enough to play into the arrows. Or you use it much like the later Relinquished Anima if your opponent forgets their zone placement. But also, remember that just says tribute a monster this card points to? So it's only negation of a targeting effect, right? But it's not a once per turn. And you can technically tribute your opponent's monsters if they're, again, foolish enough to play into it. So, a pretty solid base.
Yeah, no, a lot of the early code talkers do a good job at being a good baseline for sort of how these link monsters are meant to interact with. The anime also does a really good job of portraying them, and I think another thing that we'll kind of see as we're going through them is the designs really sort of like they get color coded in a way, you know, like Deco Talker's dark, right?
Yes, say
So
dark blue.
That's the purple motif it has.
Maybe purple. It is actually dark types. So yeah, it's probably purple.
Yeah, well,
let me pull up another one.
actually
Our next one on the
probably-
list is Encode Talker, which is a light attribute, and chat should be able to see the difference.
Got a full paladin vibe going on here. Just no sword, I guess.
Yeah, he's holding his hand like
No,
he's got a
he's-
sword, but there's no sword.
He's goofing it up. Gonna beat you with the shield.
Probably. Or gonna do like a Gallant Mon and shoot a big beam out of the shield.
Yes.
There's a lot of light in there. But yeah, this is Encode Talker.
That's right. I forgot that name.
Oh, don't you worry. The names, there are many of them. Many of them are very funny. So Encode Talker is, you can clearly tell this is the same kind of like, you know, subspecies. This is the same archetype because the armor is mostly the same, but the body lines are now, instead of being purple, are, you know, bright yellow, which is the color of the light attribute. And we've got kind of a lighter blue as well overall. I think his shoulders got, his like back wings look a little crazier in this, but I don't know if they actually got big. No, actually, no. I think the shoulder pads did get bigger because they're like L-shaped now.
Yeah, they're widened out a bit. It looks like more proper mech wings.
Yeah.
Now, again, I know I keep always bringing up, like, so-and-so is like a Digimon. This guy's giving me big Seraphimon vibes.
I mean, Digimon comparisons are fair for fucking Cyberse cards.
They are in a digital storm,
Digital world.
a cybernetic realm.
They moved at the beat of each... Okay.
So, another thing that's going to be key out of all these early ones is I'm pretty sure all the early wave of Code Talkers are all Link 3s, and they all have around 2300 attack.
Big Link 3, similar stats, and we'll kind of have like one big co-link effect. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the major gimmick.
For Encode, they did switch up, and Encode, by the way, was printed in the first, I believe, structure deck, Cyberse Link. So it was just like special little guy, 2300 attack. Link 3. It's got the forward arrow, but instead of the two back corners, it's got the directly back, and then specifically the right corner arrow, bottom right, which is not like bad. Certainly can make it a little easier to set up some of those U-Link and V-Link shenanigans, but is not as well seen as some of the others you've got going on. Materials are 2+ Cyberse monsters, so this one is type locked. It did come out in a Cyberse structure deck, so that kind of makes sense. But still, it is pretty easy during this time period to set up, you know, link climbing with Cyberse monsters. It's kind of their thing.
It's kind
And
of
then-
the only thing they do.
Yeah. Once per turn, before damage calculation, if your monster this card points to battles an opponent's monster with higher attack than it, you can't activate this effect. This battle, your monster can't be destroyed by battle. You take no battle damage. After that damage calculation, have this card or one monster it points to gain attack equal to the attack of that of that battled opponent's monster until the end of this turn. That was a lot of... there were literally some colons in there. But that's all that to say that Encode Talker basically means that once per turn, when you're going to damage calc, if a monster it points to is smaller than your opponent's monster, you can activate an effect where you don't take damage, your monster isn't destroyed, and then either Encode Talker or a monster Encode Talker points to gains the attack equal to the attack of your opponent's monster until the end of this turn. So basically, you can send one of your weenies, which Cyberse is full of. I did not include all of them, but there's like... It's funny, you know, that 2-axis, like, Rank 2 and Link 2 stuff became very big with Sprite many years later. But there's, like, a whole sub-theme of, like, level 2 guys in early generic Cyberse cards that I kind of cut because technically they are just saying level 2 monsters. But you have a lot of little guys in Cyberse, so you can probably get a free summon of a little guy, have him smash into your opponent's monster, and then Encode Talker basically honest itself. Which is perfectly all right.
Yeah, we have some, like, again, like, some nice solid effects across the board for a lot of these Code Talkers. We'll definitely get into a lot of them. They're honestly fun.
Encode Talker, I think, is probably just a guy you've never heard of just because he's been printed, like, twice, and Encode Talker, it reads like a solution to a problem type card in your extra deck. It's like, what do I do if my opponent makes a big bungus? You know, and you're like, well, make Encode Talker.
That is because the Code like the you need to make one of it.
Discord, we doing okay?
Vespi, I got like none of that, man. I'm sorry.
I think Discord ate a lot of that. Are we like... Let me double check the...
Hello.
Alright, okay. Double check the VC settings. Loth, are you here?
I'm here, I think. It sounded like things got messed up.
Yeah, Vesper broke up a little bit there. I tried manually picking the server. We'll see if Vesper rematerializes into existence.
Nope. Oh no, that wasn't. I saw Vesper in the chat. That was someone mentioning Vesper's name, not Vesper themselves.
Yeah. But yes, no, Vesper broke up a little there, so I don't think chat caught that. All right, they've left the VC. Hopefully they'll be back in a second. What I was going to say was that, yeah, you probably haven't ever heard of Encode Talker because he's been printed, like, twice. And, like I said, it looks like an extra deck problem solver. And you don't really need to do that way anymore. Technically, there are other ways to just make a big guy that smashes. Crusadia Avramax was a really good way to do that later. And then, of course, obviously, Access Code Talker. Yeah, very iconic. Just, what if I just had enough attack points to end the game?
And I did it again.
Well, no, you can only do that with a very specific combo. Which I think you can only pull off in actual Code Talkers, is getting Access Code to attack twice per game. But Access Code Talker is a guy we will talk about later because he didn't come out until 2020. But is the designed to be the ultimate board cleanup man. Yeah, chat point caught about some of the stuff about the themes. And then the Gumbler Nation attacked. I'll say we may just be having a rough internet day. The Wikipedia is also being pretty slow loading new pages. And you might ask, oh, Omega, couldn't you just pre-open all the tabs? No, we can't do that.
Because no, your internet's not that good.
That would explode something. Also, I mentioned before, there's a shitload of cards in this list today.
Oh, okay. I guess I feel weird because I have like 80 tabs. It's like the low end.
Your computer should probably have, like, gained a sentience and killed you.
Nah, it's fine.
It said that you're like, minimizing your tabs when they're tabbed out.
Yeah,
I mean, a couple of my tabs are also, like, one of them is running my bed music and one of them is running my live stream control room, so we are using a little extra memory than usual. But no, also, like I said, the Wikipedia backend is sometimes slow. The one that we'll be pulling up next, though, now that I've got it, is Xcode Talker. We're just getting a little internets are getting a little scrunchy. YouTube also says they're having you may experience some buffering. I'm not dropping.
Did they
frames,
just
though.
give this man a giant hat and giant shoulder pads?
Yeah, basically. You want to talk about kind of like the Digimon thing? Yeah, this is another one of those cases where just like this guy's like head and shoulders are just bigger for some reason. The silhouette is almost kind of like Exodia-esque, I want to say, which is weird because other than this guy being Xcode Talker, there's not really any of that going on. This guy's wind attribute and clearly lightning themed, judging by his lightning ball.
Like,
Yeah.
like you mentioned Digimon, like this guy reminds me of that one weird asshole from, what was it, Frontiers? Oh god, I can't even remember his name. He was a weird shield fucker.
I can't.
Mercurymon was the shield guy.
Thank you.
And then he also, his quote unquote beast mode form was he turned into the Sephiroth tree.
For
was pretty
some
weird,
reason.
guys. That was metal, guys. The thing going on. Like I said,
Don't worry,
Frontiers were weird.
before things go weird, he was a good guy, supposedly. Ugh. But this guy looks like he would not be able to do shit because he would be stuck in a doorway, a digital doorway.
Yeah, I
digital
assume he's
dimension
bending his
doorway.
knees because it's so heavy. Like, because notice he's in kind of like a squat stance. I bet he can't stand up straight. So yeah, this one's a little silly. We've already started to get a little overblown. This guy wasn't
I
actually
hope he
in
has large defense points, but he's a link monster, isn't he?
Yeah, no. So he's got basically the same stats as the rest of them. This guy wasn't technically in a structure deck. This was in Extreme Force in 2018, which is about a year later. But is an early code talker, so we're running through a few things. Like I said, this one is wind. They changed up the arrows again, so it's the forward arrow and then the two left and right arrows in the middle. So, you know, kind of forming a free prong. I'm hoping Vesper's internet didn't just like explode. I see them like log off Discord and now they're on mobile, so I hope everything's going okay over there. So man, sometimes it just is that way. But yeah, Xcode Talker. So got, you know, I almost said a plus shape, but it's not quite a plus. But you know, got the forward triangle arrows, and is the same materials required as encode. It's 2+ Cyberses. When this card is link summoned, you can choose an unused main monster zone, you can choose unused main monster zones equal to the number of monsters currently in the extra monster zones, so maximum of 2. These zones can't be used while this monster is face up. You can only use this effective X code once per turn. Monsters this card points to gains 500 attack and also cannot be destroyed by card effects. So again, it's neat that we're doing different things. This one already is trickier to use. This is designed like he has to be like your second or third guy. Like, if you make this guy in the EMZ normally, the only monster he's going to point to is your opponent's monster. That's not helpful at all. So you're clearly supposed to use this in the U-Link type shit and build up to protect your guys in co-link. Now, monsters this card points to gains 500 attack, and they can't be destroyed by card effects is still solid. It's just definitely, I think this is a guy who later probably gets shaved for space just because it's like this card's a little trickier to use, and there are code talkers which are much more direct in their uses. If you follow me, chat. Sorry, it's preparing the next image, and I moved away from it too fast. I was like, okay, I've got it. Show me what setsu he's in. Wait, no, I didn't get it. But anything we want to say about Xe code?
I don't like looking at him.
Okay. Then let us not look at him. Let's look at Power Code Talker.
Thank you.
Power Code is the cover card and the namesake for the structure deck, Power Code Link, which was all about making this guy, I guess.
This is just an elemental hero. This is just a Neos fusion.
Yeah, kinda. I think with the red, white, and gold.
It also it's also like it's a mix between Neos and Utopia, so it's a Yu-Gi-Oh superhero card.
Yeah, he's got kind of like a weird gold head thing. He's got huge shoulders. The like scissor cross blades on his arm are cool, but also like, what are we doing, bro?
Also, again, to make another fucking Digimon reference, because you know I'm in a mood today. Apparently,
I mean Digimon's apt for half of these.
Just thinking of fucking what was it, Gallimon Crimson mode.
Yeah, when he goes oops all red. Yeah. No, yeah. Honestly, there's a couple of different
Thank you, student of life. Yeah,
red
I didn't see
armor
for a
guys.
while. Add more.
Yes, thanks, Marth. He's got pointy knees.
Oh, yeah, Marth, my bad.
This guy is like, say what you will about Xcode. Xcode at least was like mostly the same design as a Code Talker, just he had huge shoulders and hat. Power Code is like doing different things, and I don't know if that's supposed to be part of the theme because it's a Fire Cyberse. Like, are we leaning towards Salomon Greats? But in that case, we would just invent Decode Talker Heat Soulator. So like, I don't know. But
Salomon Great Talker.
His aesthetics are a little departing from the others. Like, obviously he's still got the undersuit going on, you know, with red lines. He's the fire type. He's got green orbs, it's kind of an offset color. But like I said, parts of this are still a further enough step away. The funny thing is that this is one of those Code Talkers that is a little more broadly useful because Power Code Talker is a Fire Cyberse, like I said. 2300 attack, Link 3. It has the left and right, and also bottom left corner arrow. and is exactly 3 monsters. But any 3 monsters. Not even, saying not even tokens. So you needed to make exactly 3, but they can be truly anything.
3 material.
Completely generic. So it's an interesting, design space that gets a little away from the others. Power code also says, once per turn, target a face-up monster on the field. Negate that target's effects until the end of this turn. Once per turn, if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calc, tribute one monster this card points to. This card's attack becomes doubled during damage calc only. So, Power Code is kind of trying to take, Decode and Encode's jobs, but in, a weird way. Because Decode's negation is a quick effect, and Power Code is not. But also, Power Code's, negate a face-up monster is not requiring a tribute.
I gotta get going. See you guys.
All right.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Later, X. Hopefully, Vesper can make it back in. I see them struggling. I can only assume Zeus himself smote Vesper's internet.
Yeah.
Gorbadesh, the god of desync.
Just to me.
Yeah. You won't have anything to say until I show access code talker on the screen and play the Ultra Instinct theme.
Dun, dun, yeah.
I should actually grab the Ultra Instinct theme to play when we show access code, just because he is such a fucking bogeyman.
Yeah, I've bitched about him so often, but
I mean, here's the thing, Loth. I hate to tell you this, but access code's years of being bannably good are probably behind him. I think he's only been merely okay for the past couple of years. On the other hand, for a solid 2 or 3 years after he came out, he was a fucking menace. He was just Mr. Ends Your Game.
Yes, I see. You finally defeated my Sky Striker board. However, access code.
It's nice board you have there. Access code? You're done?
Yeah.
But yeah, power code's a decent one, I think. Okay, so power code just appeared before even the Salmon Great guy came in. So they just liked this aesthetic.
Just to be extra meta and funny about it, power creep talker. Just fuck it.
That could be pretty funny. But yeah, Power Code, like I said, I think Power Code has seen some play in some decks because of its odd, materials. Yeah, I think they've printed, have they printed a Link 6? Yeah, they printed, I think, 1 Link 6, maybe. And a lot of the Link 5s are, crazy.
Who the fuck would be in... What?
It's either the new, because there's, what's his face? Allied Talker Adagnister. And then there's, I can't remember if one of the firewalls is a 6. Who would it be? I think there's a big, large, huge firewall dragon.
Still have this weird feeling. I'm just come on. Fuck it. Give us a Z-Arc Link Dragon. Because that'll be completely stupid.
I mean, I think you could do that because it would be a little funny because obviously the way stuff works is the arrows would be a little silly, but I think you could do that. Just make him like a Link 5 that's 2+ or 3+, and then put all the archetypes in there, Pendulum Dragon, Sea Dragon, etc.
Sorry, I didn't mean Z-Arc himself Link Dragon. I mean a Dimension Pet Dragon kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd still probably want to make him a Linkman of that sort of design.
Yeah. Look, I don't know why. Actually, no, I do know why I'm Z-Arc's strongest warrior. It's because I think he's fucking stupid, and I like it.
You are not Z-Arc's only warrior. I know some content creators that like to cram the Z-Arc trap and some other funny stuff into just decks because it is in fact very funny. He sees a little play. There's some stuff going on. But yeah, I think a like inventing a new like dimension dragon for Lynx to you know kind of help them out little is a little better than just their previous plans, which were just like, okay, what if Beyond the Pendulum, and then what if Beyond the Pendulum 2. Like,
okay, so
what's the link for? Yeah, okay.
To get
this is
back
shooting
onto
code
track.
talker, by the way.
Yeah. So, in a different vein, this guy doesn't remind me of a Digimon. This guy reminds me of a fucking Kamen Rider.
I could see that. What I also want to say is this is Atlantean's lost son. Like, with... I know, obviously, the, like, medium tone or kind of, like, cyan blue and gold is not, like, a new color scheme, especially with the orange contrast color. But with all the armor plates, it's like... I feel like they gave him angel wings because they really wanted you not to think this was, like, some sort of, like, mermail or Atlantean link monster. Like, I don't know what exactly was ups with that one.
There it is. Sorry, I was looking for a picture to share with Omega.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does look like he's someone who is meant to be Atlantean and was lost in the Cyber Sea.
The digital sea. In case you can't tell, chat, shooting code is the water one. As chat did point out earlier, these guys have kind of an oops all attributes thing going on that is meant to be kind of a mirror, I think, to Adignister, and then the funny thing is when they come together. I've never actually sat down to watch VRAINS. I should do that sometime. People have mixed opinions on VRAINS. I think it's got some interesting stuff going on. I think I would like parts of VRAINS because I've heard that VRAINS is probably the anime that actually tries to play the fucking card game the best. Which is like a pretty interesting space to be in.
Okay, so not a Kamen Rider themselves, but someone from Kamen Rider. So I shared the image.
How big is this? Yeah. Chat. Look at these two pictures. Corporate pictures, chat. Eh? Alright.
Now the funny thing is, the one I shared from Kamen Rider is, what was it? His weapon is a fucking fishing rod, if memory serves. Then again, Den-O was weird. That was the one where it's like everything's a big. What was it? What was that story? Momotaro and the Peach reference? It was all that. Oops, all that.
It's just Momotaro. And I think it was Oni Island. But yeah, no. Chat, I banish you to that guy dimension.
Oh god, no.
You're stuck down there with him. But no, it is a similar design. But I think that shooting code has a little better going on with the archery motif, and obviously the extra armor plating has that gold color.
I appreciate the
pointy.
one giant shoulder pad on his non-dominant hand for the bow.
Yeah, good archery stuff there. So shooting code is a water Cyberse. Has the forward and back arrows and the left-facing arrow. And is, like most of the other code talkers we've seen at this point, 2+ Cyberse monsters. So they made a couple of them generic. Obviously, Decode Talker was pretty generic to start. I think they did that one deliberately because it was a starter deck for the brand new mechanic. But most of the others fall firmly into the Cyberse thing. Oh, 2300 Link 3, by the way. At the start of your battle phase, you can't activate this effect. This battle phase, this card can make attacks on your opponent's monsters up to the number of monsters this card points to +1. But when it attacks your opponent's only monster, loses 400 attack during that damage calc only. At the end of the battle phase, you draw cards equal to the number of monsters this card destroyed by battle this turn. This is another one like X code, which or N code, I should say. So we didn't even get to X code when we were talking about that. But shooting code is one that is like N code, where it's clearly a tool meant to be like, oh shit, your opponent made a shitload of monsters, but, maybe didn't link them all off because they were locked, or they did link them off, but they were left with a bunch of little weenie links that do something. So, summon Shooting Code Talker and clean up. But it's only attacks on monsters, and it's like one of those things that's like, Konami, what did you expect? If your opponent has a board full of guys, they're just gonna link them off. And you don't activate well, you could, but you don't really activate scapegoats in the battle phase anymore. You activate it in your opponent's end phase, so you have the materials. Assuming that also, by the way, this card came out in the TCG anyway, didn't come out until Fist of the Gadgets in 2019. So this card was the signature one for the third OCG only Code Talker structure deck. And like I said, Konami America was just like, no, we're not doing that. But it's it's a cute effect, and the drawing effect is really interesting. I'm pretty sure by the time this came out in the TCG, Saryuya Skulldread already was out. And if you guys don't remember what Saryuya does, he's the guy who, if you summon him with 4 mats, you draw 4, shuffle 3 back, pick 3 to shuffle back, I should say. So you don't need a weird deep draw strat. It's funny. Shit like Super Rejuve and there's a Crusadia quick play spell that does this. That's draw cards equal to the link rating of your Crusadia link monster that battled this turn or something. Those cards have seen some niche play, but I feel like Shooting Code's a little too niche, especially because when it explicitly attacks your opponent's best monster, it's only a 1900, or your opponent's last monster, I should say. So it's a weird one. I think it probably works if you're playing an Oops All Code Talker deck, but you need to be doing a little bit of link climbing, so you need some extra guys. If I remember correctly, then this should be our last one for now is Earth.
Sorry, my internet or Discord just freaked out there for a second.
It has been happening. We're grabbing our next guy. I left some pauses in there to see what was up, but obviously you were in the Phantom Zone.
This guy. Who
All right, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, hold on. I'm going to reset the server region to automatic. So hold on to your butt. Okay, it's reconnected. Well, I reconnected anyway. Hopefully Loft doesn't have too much trouble, but it can find us a server since he's in the Upside Down and I'm not. Oh, shit. Maybe I shouldn't have switched it back. Yeah. Sorry, well, before we move on to talk about Transcode Talker here, in the chat saying, in the OCG, they were 4 months apart. That makes sense, yeah. They delayed Shooting Code, past when it was relevant. It probably would have been a pretty useful card during its OCG time frame, but also clearly Konami was torn between making lots of money off Link monsters and oversaturating the market with them. I reconnected pretty fast to the VC. So, Chad, the enduring silence is that it seems like maybe I shouldn't have switched because Loth is still lost. I'll add him to draw his attention to the normal chat. I may have to start cycling server regions. Ah, it's bunkled. Are you stuck on, like, finding pathway or RTC connect or something? Or is it just, like, Discord just, like, stalled out for you, Loth? Let me try setting the server back to the region it was. Also, transcode's a little high on the text box. Let's squish down a little. Yeah, I do believe, though, that transcode actually saw some play. Hold on, let me go crazy style.
Oh my god. No, wait.
Hey, so, you wanna know how I fixed this one, Loth?
How?
Currently, I'm speaking to you from a server. The server is located now in Sydney. My ping went from, like, 73 to 230. But it's working.
I'm sorry. So, I can talk to you, I see you lighting up, I see me lighting up. Discord itself is not responding.
Okay, I've had that happen too. Well, we at least we've got it, so I think we're connected in the VC normally. It should eventually ungloop itself, but it's a little crazy.
Yeah, sorry, I took a screenshot on my phone about, like, what's happening, and just...
It's a little goofus. Okay, so transcode tracker's the Earth one. Sorry, chat.
Yes.
Discord's being a little screwy. Hopefully, it's not as goofy tomorrow.
He looks like he belongs in a mecha show.
Yes, no. This one looks straight up like a mecha. You can't see very much of the bodysuit under. Kind of similar, actually. Speaking of, like, Earth-themed links, this is kind of how, like, the Sky Striker Kaina, the Earth armor, looks, too. Like, they just go, fuck it, big, bulky armor. I like it, though, like the hexagonal shoulder pads. It's very good. Also, I'm pretty sure that Transcode Talker has a gun.
Yes. Part of the reason I think he would fit in a mecha show. He's just got that big, long mecha gun.
Yeah, we're already talking about our buddy Aaron's already started a. It's true, they're transcode. I don't know. Good for them.
Good for them.
But our buddy Aaron is already fermenting a Rogue Trader campaign we've been talking about on the side as well. Right now, it sounds like yours truly will end up being the Rogue Trader.
Oh, thank fuck.
Yeah. Axis said he wants to play the Navigator. Look, he's gonna play an Orc freebooter if it'll work.
What? Yeah.
So we're gonna have some fun.
It's the idea because, as I mentioned, I played in a game where it has happened. The officially sanctioned Orc essentially has a bunch of seals or, like, basically a plaque on the front saying, "This is fine," for now.
Yeah. But yeah, another game we need to check out sometime is probably Lancer. And I don't know about you, but I'm also a fan of giant mechas with big long shooty guns. I actually, for the brief, for the couple of months I played it, for like the brief year that it existed, one of the major mobile suits I did play in Gundam Evolution was GM Sniper. Because beam sniping people's very funny. But yeah, Transcode Talker's 2300 attack, 3. Much like Decode Talker is fairly generic, 2+ effect monsters. So another one that's like pretty easy to set up. While this card is co-linked, now chat, this is the first time, at least in this episode, we've talked about co-linking. So a monster is linked if a link monster points to it. A monster is co-linked if 2 mutual link arrows are pointing at each other. So that's all you need to know. I think Loth's not responding lag is catching up to him, but hopefully we stay connected. There you go. Yeah, you're back.
Okay, so I probably said something and it wasn't picked up, but Discord itself is literally freaking out.
Yeah, I've had a few days like that.
Like,
I think Discord servers are
when I go to
not having a good
channel.
time. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I think Discord servers backends are still having a little trouble.
Which is funny
yes.
because mobile is fine.
It's probably
Anyway,
because the app is like hosted a different way. Yeah, so Transcode Talker's effect is while this card is co-linked, it and its co-linked monsters gain 500 attack. So kind of a better form of Decode Talker's boost. And your opponent can't target them with card effects. Can't target any of them, by the way, with card effects. So, like, all your co-linked buddies. You can target 1 Link 3 or lower Cyberse Link monster in your graveyard, except Transcode Talker. Special summon it to your zone that this card points to. You can't special summon the turn you activate this, except Cyberse. You only use this effect of Transcode Talker once per turn. Transcode Talker was the iconic code talker that was released in the 2018 structure deck, or starter deck, sorry. Starter deck Codebreaker. It got reprinted or once anyway, in Maximum Gold. But this one, because of that effect to summon back a Cyberse Link monster, Transcode Talker is also, like, very popular, very useful. It's rated like an SR in Master Duel. Most of the other guys we've talked about have been, like, rares or normals.
Pretty good effect.
That's right, chat. Normals, not neutrals. Yeah, so as a result, Transcode Talker has seen play, and I would say is probably the one that, like, even more so than Decode. Like, Decode was really good when it came out, but kind of, like, faded to the back. That, you know, it's there. Transcode has been playable as an extender a decent number of times. All right, now I'm going to show you, chat, some weird little guys. Weird little guy number 1. This is Bitron.
Yep, that is just a little guy.
And then there's the other little guy. Because they made 2 of these. Which is Digitron.
These just look like the things you would interact with to get help in an online MMO experience.
Yeah, basically. So these guys are normal monsters. They are both, I believe, Cyberse Earths normals. You know, Bitron, Digitron. They're both level 2s, I should say also. Bitron is a, like, 200 attack, 2k defender. Digitron has 0 defense, but it's a 1500 attack for a level 2, which is pretty high. Both of them say something to the effect of, like, they're a digital species. There's little information there. Digitron specifically is a subspecies found in electronic space. There's little information on it. And Bitron is a new species found in electronic space. There's not much information on it. So these guys are just little lads. Little guys. But they're Cyberse normal monsters, which is important for reasons.
Yeah.
But I don't think you played them a lot, though. Like I said, there was a whole sub-theme around level 2s in Cyberse, early Cyberse stuff. But you're going to see now some of the first of what I called earlier the what if animals, but cyber.
Oh yeah.
That's because if you just need a guy, just need a body, Cyberse has a way better vanilla. This is Leotron. Which was Raidoron in the OCG. I don't know why Lydron, but Leotron works a lot better. It's a lion,
Now-
but Cyberse.
I hate to say this, but this guy's gonna die. Sadly.
Yes, probably.
His name is too similar to another one.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He's cursed. This is another Earth Cyberse. Much like with Thunders, there were a lot of Earth Cyberse when we started. I don't know why. I guess they were just like, you know, computers are made out of metal. Metal's basically dirt, right? But Leotron is a level 4 Cyberse normal with 2,000 attack and 0 defense. That's right, it's one of these cards. Check this out. Its flavor text is simply a territorial electronic monster that guards its own domain. So, this one was in Starter Deck Codebreaker. It took them a little while to come out.
Sorry, what level did you say this guy was?
4.
God, if he was a fire, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of glad that he's an Earth, not a fire. But it took them a little bit to get to it, like a year, but they did make a Cyberse, like, 2K attacker normal, vanilla, you know, with 0 defense. And that's perfectly all right. But that's relevant because of a guy I mentioned who was in that first starter deck, who is, like, I don't even know if I want to call him a U because, like, it's Link Spider, by the way, Chad. It's going to be Link Spider when I pull the art up. But, like, on the one hand, I want to be like, Link Spider needs no introduction. But also, like, Link Spider's not even that strong of a card. It's just that Link Spider does something so specific in terms of, like, you know, extension.
If you yourself want to experience Link Spider, there was a lovely EDO Pro AI and deck. That is the Cyberse deck.
Yeah, I think it's literally one of the structure decks or starter decks we're talking about, because it's got, like, Link Spider, Honeybot, Decode Talker.
Okay. I do appreciate the little fucking wheels it has. I never noticed that. And the tiny, like, little fangs it has. That's
yeah,
adorable.
he's a very cute little guy. I mean, he's a cyber spider. What more can you say?
Yeah.
Give him a you know, some machine guns and a howitzer, and it's a Tachikoma.
I was gonna say give him a tiny hat, but that,
You could also give him a
That's
tiny
just
hat.
me.
The tiny hat would fit. But yeah, Link Spider is just, you know, a robot spider on a digital web. Not that crazy. But this is another Earth Cyberse, Link 1, with just the downward-facing arrow, with 1,000 attack. Link Spider's materials are exactly one normal monster, because it is a Link 1. And once per turn, you can special summon one level 4 lower normal monster from your hand to a zone this card points to. So, yeah, Link Spider is just a guy who is, like, made for you to Link climb, but only if you're playing normals. But also that means that, like, Link Spider's really good. And just any deck that has to play a normal now as, like, an incidental, like, synergy thing, Link Spider's a crazy good card to put in your extra because it gets rid of guys. Like, you know, you link them away. So it could be a really useful extension.
I had a moment where I had to like double check. I'm like, wait a second, the fucking World Chalice guys were not Cyberse. That's right, me.
Yeah, they weren't Cyberse. You could still play them because Link Spider himself is all about normals, but I don't think they Cyberse locked you. But yeah, there's a whole line you can do to play. So I did those mostly because there was a whole, like I said, a whole normal angle on Cyberse. But there's a whole bunch of these weird little animal guys who Loth will probably recognize from that fucking starter deck in EDO Pro.
Is one of them the goat?
Oh, yeah, both goats are in here. There's 2 goats. But first, we've got Client, whose name, by the way, is technically mistranslated. This should be Kleinant, because his tail or his butt is a Klein bottle, which is that type of flask that kind of like goes into itself.
Okay.
Yeah, you have probably seen a Klein bottle before.
Maybe. I just also think Client works.
Oh, no, I think it works as well, because it's kind of like, I think it's kind of like Client Ant.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a Klein bottle, chat. That's just the name of that structure that's kind of shaped in on itself. It's like a Mobius strip, but not. But with the C, it works. So, Client is a light Cyberse level 3, 15/15. When this normal summoned or set card is face up on the field, all Cyberse you control gain 500 attack and defense during your turn only. If this card will be destroyed by another card effect, you can destroy a Cyberse from your hand or face up field instead. Again, just against that structure deck or starter deck, this guy is super annoying. But he's also an ant that is cyber. Why is there a cyber ant? I don't fucking know.
So I just now noticed what seems to be its feet, grippers, whatever they are. Just they look like fucking cookie cutters.
Yeah, he's got weird little stencil feet. I don't know exactly what they're for. It's probably something robotic shape related. Also, like, he's got like big ant mandibles, but also the way this guy's designed, I don't think he can move them.
Yeah.
Like, it's all fixed.
Designed purely for aesthetic.
And then you know we've got the funny Klein bottle shape.
And his
So it's
tail
like-
looks like a fucking beaker.
Yeah, it's shaped like itself kind of shit. I don't think Client's a very good card, but it's a card that I know Loth and I have seen a shitload of.
Mm-hmm.
For the explained reasons. And
Testing for Prague was always fighting against that one guy.
Yeah, it's because like that all the other decks were like that were pre-saved anyway were like competitive topping decks, and the AI was really good at doing their plays. So like you just get blown out playing like dog shit Glad Beasts or something, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas
At least
the Cyberse deck would kick your ass because they had like I think Raigeki had just been unbanned, you know?
But you had a chance.
Mm-hmm. Like they played like 3 Cosmic Cyclone, you know, and their extra deck monsters, you know, could end on a Decode Talker who wasn't a gate, but also sometimes they just kind of like normal summoned Client and passed. So like it was very good for Prague because like you actually got to test a little back and forth. Another little guy who is in that same starter deck, but is actually way more relevant, down to this card is technically playable right fucking now, because you can play him in Malice. Give me a second for it to load. It's... Sorry, I have the wrong tool. I was on my fill tool to get rid of that black stuff. It's that one boss from P4, aka Dot Scraper.
Oh. Right, yeah, that's my only thought whenever I see this guy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he's bright yellow, so I'm just like, hey, it's that one boss. It's not really, because that guy's like a guy, and Dot Scaper is just an alien. But he's
This
a
is
little,
gonna
he's
be
a
a
little
little
bit man.
weird-
He's a little voxel man.
there's not gonna be a weird little baby inside of there.
But yeah, it's Dotscaper. It's another Earth Cyberse, level 1, 0 attack, 2100 defense. So it's a, 1-for-1 target, all that stuff. It's an Earth, so you can use it with, Mrs. Radiant, which we talked about as one of the, early good. And Dotscaper just says very simple things. If this card's sent to the graveyard, special summon it. Or you can special summon it, I should say, but it is optional. But yeah, special summon it. If this card's banished, you can special summon it. You can only use each effect once per turn, and only once that turn. You can only use each effect of Dotscaper once per duel. But that's it. Dotscaper is just a free extender once per duel.
Mm-hmm. But, it's... If you need him to make your big bungus, who is, basically a towers, doesn't matter if he's once per turn. He did his thing.
He's just an extra little guy. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I will have to step away for a moment in a few minutes, because I ordered KFC.
That's okay.
Because for some reason, Uber Eats has decided everything else is like a $10 service delivery fee. And KFC, which used to be $10, is now $3.
Is it some kind of conspiracy by the good Colonel?
I can only assume it's so Uber Eats can push that fucking Uber One thing.
Oh, probably. R.I.P.
It's still fucking stupid, though. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
Yes. But yeah, Dotscaper, just again, we don't have to spend too much time. Dotscaper's design is just he's a little voxel man, and it's a very good card.
If I could, in real life, just have something to stand next to a figure of Lock Dragon, it would be this guy, because they fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's that picture of fucking George Lucas? These guys are friends.
But here's one that again you may not have heard of, but is also technically involved in this. There's another sub theme in here that you'll see a few more of. Some early Cyberse monsters, especially, were just what if dragons, but Cyberse. And this is Dual Assembleworm. I thought it was Assembleworm. No, there's no L. It's Assembleworm.
And it's neither a dragon nor a worm. It's a Cyberse.
Yep. Well, they spelled worm with a U.
Ah, I see.
If you don't get it, there's a lot of
I like it. I like it. As silly as it is, it's probably because it's silly I like it. Look at this guy.
Yeah, he's just a guy. He's a little goofy. He's got some I was about to say super, but no, I think in perspective they're just slightly fucked up feet. Big pointy knees, but he's a weird Cyberse. I almost said Cyber Dragon. That's not correct. A weird Cyberse dragon. And I think he's got he doesn't have arms, but he has laser cannons instead.
He looks like Player 1 and Player 2 fused together.
Yeah.
Because you got your red and blue.
And this one was in that starter deck, or in the structure deck Cyberse Link, so one of the early decks. This is one of the cards they give you for free in one of your starter decks in a Master Duel that you can't disenchant, even though he's a fucking ultra rare in Legacy packs. He's just a big fucking guy. Dual Assembleworm is a Dark Cyberse level 8, 2800 attack, 1000 defense. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can banish 2 other Cyberse monsters from your hand or face up from your field. Special summon this card, but its attack becomes halved. You can use this effect of Dual Assembleworm once per turn. Once per turn, banish a card from your hand, banish 1 monster on the field with attack less than or equal to this card's. So it's kind of like Fusilier Dragon. Like, he has a way to cheat himself out by banishing your Cyberses. But then he gets smaller. If it actually hits the field, it can be a removal tool. Some people have probably tried to tech this in, like, whatchamacallit, like Malice. It's probably not a great extender. But you summon extra guys.
Yeah, no, I've only seen this guy ever used to extend.
Yeah.
Like, you can attack with them, but why would you? Like, the Cyberse AI is basically just you click, but they click in such a way that makes them win.
Yeah, and they click until they make Decode Talker and then some extra guys.
But no, I like this guy. The kind of weird I enjoy in my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Ugh.
Sorry, there's a multi-threaded conversation going on in the tabletop cabal I'm responding to.
Okay. Well, while Omega's busy typing, now let's talk about what makes this guy funny. Because they decided to give him a weird digital hula hoop.
Yeah,
Why?
he does have a weird hula hoop. There are several Cyberse monsters with these kind of like gate effects, but I don't know.
Is it meant to be the thing that's holding him together? Because it's an assemb worm. Like he's been
It is
assembled?
a dual worm, you know. He's two guys. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know. I'll throw the next art on screen, but then I'm gonna step away for a bio break. It may or may not correspond with Loth needing to get KFC.
I don't know. This guy's on the bike and he hasn't made any movements in a little bit, so I'm concerned.
He's resting. But I'm about to show you a card, chat. Do recall, this is not a Salamangreat card. I believe if Marth gave me my timeline correctly, this guy predates Salamangreat, because this was like... Yeah, this was Power Code Link, so I think it was around the same time. May have been in the anime earlier. But this is Flame Bufferlow. Flame Bufferlow. It is a Fire Cyberse, yes. So I will leave you guys with that one, and I will be right back, chat.
Oh god, that hurts. Oh. No, sorry, no, it took me by surprise. This fucking buffalo. Oh god damn it. I like this thing. I can't take it seriously. I can't. Oh my god. Hold on. Okay, had to double check. I am still being piped through. So I had to hear my own oh my god just then. Ugh, that's still weird. Anyway. Lovely name, lovely pun. I appreciate the weird, like, joint things he's got going on there. You can't see it, but I was also moving my arm around for that. This looks like a guy you would beat up in one of the fucking digital FF14 dungeons. Or as a random mook in a Digimon game. I know I keep bringing it up, but this is the fucking Cyberse archetype and monsters. What did you expect? Oh, no, that... Okay. He's 1 minute away, so I should probably step outside.
That's okay. I'm back. Go for it.
Okay. I was struggling.
That's
And
okay.
also... before you left, you probably heard me dying from laughing at the name.
Yeah. Buffalo. I heard that for sure.
I'm just typing as well. Anyway. Step away.
Green? Sorry, I'm having a weird one typing. But yeah, I'm back, chat. I probably could have taken my headset with me, but I took it off for a little bit because I'm a little sweaty. It's a little hot. Dallas is awoken to the FP chat, or not the FP chat, but to the tabletop chat. So I don't know if he'll actually like drop in. He's sick. You'll see it when I post the next Rain episode. But yeah, Flame Buffalo, like I said, I don't think I got every single one of these guys because there's a lot of them. But Flame Buffalo here is another example of what I'm calling, what if animal, but cyber. So it's a fire water buffalo. So it's already a pun because normally this horn shape is a water buffalo, chat. But also it's a robot, and we called it Bufferlo. Did you get it? But Buffalo is a fire Cyberse, 1400 attack, 200 defense, so it's a fire monster with 200 defense. It's funny how they keep doing that. If this face-up card leaves the field, you can discard a Cyberse. If you do, draw 2 cards. You're going to use this effect once per turn. I am fairly certain that Buffalo has seen play as kind of a weird extension piece in a few Cyberse decks over the years. Obviously, you can play it in Salamangreat in Salad, even though it is not a Salamangreat monster, because several of those guys do have graveyard effects. And he has a Fire Cyberse level 3 that you can summon out, so, like, he's got some positioning, but is absolutely just kind of a weird little tool. All right. Yeah. I could wait for Loth to get back with his, I presume, chicken to talk about what we got going on. Yeah,
Ooh, okay,
no.
sorry about that.
That's what's up. Oh yeah. He's back.
Yeah. I was a bit distracted because I also saw I had a letter, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And it's detailing something I haven't experienced before, which is my superannuation fund, aka my retirement fund.
Well, you're working a job.
Yeah.
So I'm about to dismiss Flame Buffalo, just to let you know if you didn't have headphones on for its effect. Flame Buffalo is once per turn when it's sent to the graveyard, you can discard a Cyberse to draw 2. So he's another kind of generic Cyberse extender, but he's a fire level 3 Cyberse, so, you know, couldn't imagine a deck that could use that. But then I'm going to show these two cards didn't come out, like, at the exact same time, but I'm going to show them side by side because they made 2 of these.
The fucking goats.
And I don't know why. But yeah,
Now,
they may technically be bighorn sheep.
this will sound like a weird story to mention, but this is something a good old friend of mine from online days used to say before they were taken from us. They used to name, what was it? Was it Go-Goat from Pokemon? The grass goat?
That is a goat from Pokemon, yes.
Yeah, looking at these guys makes me think of the name they gave their goat, which was just the Eternal Goat. That thing just never fucking died.
The eternal
So
goat.
that's the only thing I can think of when Yeah.
I mean, they're light. So we are, by the way, taking a break from the Earth typing we've seen in a lot of guys. But Ram Clouder is the green one, and Rom Claudia is the pinkish one. So
I think I've seen the pinkish one the most from the Cyberse deck.
yes, I mean, both of these are good. Claudia is a card that has more longevity, so you've probably seen them both in the Cyberse deck, and actually may have seen Claudia in some other combos. The idea seems to be RAM and ROM, plus cloud is in cloud computing. It's funny because, like, sorry, they're slightly off center. Let me bring them a little closer in. I want to say with, like, the pinkish hue and, like, the eyelashes that, like, and the name, Claudia is, like, kind of feminine, but they both still have the ram pun in their name and have the big horns, so...
Femboy sheep.
I shrug. Ram Clouder is a light Cyberse level 4 with 1800 attack and 1000 defense, and says you can tribute 1 monster, target a Cyberse in your graveyard, special summon it. You can use this effect once per turn, so it basically cycles your guys. Rom Claudia is a dark Cyberse level 4 with 1800 attack and 0 defense that says when this card is normal summoned, target a Cyberse in your graveyard except Rom Claudia, add it to your hand. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a level 4 lower Cyberse from your deck, except Claudia. So both of them do have some kind of, like, graveyard recovery effects. It's just interesting kind of the way they are. Ram summons from graveyard, but requires you to tribute a monster. Rom adds to hand on normal summon. And normal summon only, which is why I think both of them have kind of fallen out of favor. But Rom also is, if destroyed by battle or card effect, you just summon a level 4 or lower Cyberse from your deck.
Talking about, like, how these guys are not as prevalent as they used to be just makes me think of the, that Simpsons gif, which was the style at the time.
Yeah, just how we did them. Now, this guy doesn't have doesn't have an animal pun in his name, but is an animal, but cyber, and is also in some other card art. So we just gotta pull it up. This one is not as you probably don't remember as well because it is not in that specific starter deck. It's in a different one, but it's Tex Changer.
Sorry, it took a while for my stream to catch up. Look at this guy!
Yeah, he's a little frog. And he's actually in some spell trap art. So, like, this guy is an essential part of the team.
Oh, I love him.
No,
His
it's real, okay.
design makes me think of the fucking Halloween special from The Simpsons where Homer got trapped in the 3D space.
The old school Halloween, it's a horror, but yeah, no, definitely. It's a very early 3D model. You can literally count his polygons. So, Text Changer is a Dark Cyberse level 1, 100. Once per turn, when your monster's targeted for attack, negate that attack. Special summon 1 Cyberse normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So again, when this guy came out in like 2018, decent. I think this is one of the things about the fact that MR4 was kind of a slower format. Like, you had to set up your link arrows sometimes, especially once the ban list trimmed some of the guys out there. Having a guy who is a pretty easy special summon, being a low-level Cyberse monster, that just, whenever any of your monsters is attacked, you can just negate, summon a Cyberse normal from anywhere. Obviously, now the problem with this is that, especially as we talked about the time rules earlier, waiting around... it's not as advisable.
So, you said his name is Text Changer.
Yes.
Text
Changer.
I wish there was a fucking, texture changer. I was thinking text. Because I was like, can we put him in the frog deck? Be like, no, guys, he's a frog. His name was changed. It was changed.
I know. I think it actually, because it is TEX, so it could be text. It could also be texture. I don't know. There's no trivia, explaining his name.
Considering, it looks like a wire mesh and something being put on top of it, I'm inclined to believe texture, but both works.
Yeah, both
Sorry
are
if it was
good.
a bit
and there's
difficult to
no-
understand. I'm currently munching on popcorn
Yeah,
chicken.
he's eating. He's eating the good shit.
Mm. God, sorry, I'm not sure if stream has heard it, but I am so happy having good KFC chips again, because the ones in the Philippines, oh my god, it was awful.
Just not the same.
No, they were thin and pathetic. Which again leads into my family's joke of, man, this must be some big psyop to make Jollibee so much better over there. But,
It's always a little weird how you run into stuff. It's there. I don't know all of them, but there are several semi-regional or regional restaurants in America that are like that, where they tell you you're in the wrong state, and they're like, "Oh, don't go to that place. That place is bad." But if you go in a different state, it's goated. It's very weird. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just quick question, Omega, because I said something in Tabletop Cabal. How many more of these do we got?
Oh, loads. But we can speedball a little. Let me see. How long are we going? We haven't hit 2 hours yet. I think, right? Yeah. So we're basically done with the animals. There's a lot of Cyberse monsters that are guys, but I also think we can probably go through them pretty fast. The next one I wanted to grab was, Pentastag. Because thematically, he's kind of the same as Link Spider and Client and stuff. And if you don't get it, Pentastag is a stag beetle.
Change. Stag Beetle.
I mean, this guy does look very, very tokusatsu, right? Because he's got, the Tron lines and shit. He's got a big old pinchers. But Pentastag's another one of those kind of semi-generic guys. He's exactly 2 effect monsters for a Cyber Stark Link 2. He's got forward and back arrows, 600 attack. If your linked monster attacks a defense position, inflict piercing damage. This is another one that you can get like for free in one of the starter decks in Master Duel, and is just kind of another useful guy. Sorry, I'm just watching the transformation gif, and I'm like, wow, all that for some horns.
Look, Kabuto had a thing where they had the armored form, and then they will cast off the armor.
Okay. We're going speed mode.
It's funny you say that, because that's how they would go speed mode, where they would go super fast.
Of course. All right.
Because you had Kabuto, the main guy, and then you had this guy, the secondary writer, which was contentious because he was also technically the main character.
I know that, like, it's always funny how these different subgenres. We'll faff a little as I pull up the next card. It's always interesting how these different subgenres have like these different complaints. Like, I know a little about the Sentai side of Tokusatsu, mostly from the American, the Power Rangers side, but still, a lot of the limitations of the teams maps to the original Sentai series. It's always funny, like, how, like, people will complain about, specific ways, like, the Red Ranger is handled, or, like, well, are they truly a Six Ranger, or, are they just, like, a one-time cameo, man? Like, people can get in arguments over the technical, like, role definitions. I guess technically that extends to other stuff, too, because there's, like, I don't know jack shit about that, but I know that there's a lot of discussion of, like, idol roles in, like, a music group. Like, lead, center, that kind of stuff.
If you wanna know a dumb factoid I recently heard about, do you remember what Dino Thunder was based off of? Was it Dino Thunder or Dino Fury? The one where they had a transform form where, like, the spikes on their arms got big.
Yeah, that was one of the dinos. Was that Fury? I think that was Fury.
In the original Japanese, they just recently had a fucking anniversary movie where they got sued. So you got these guys in court in their suits.
That's pretty funny. All right, so it's time for the part you've all been waiting for, chat.
Women.
Yeah, the waifus. So Backup Secretary, which is the one on the right, technically came first, but her name is after Backup Operator, the one on the left. And these do have an upgraded form for links, but yeah, Backup Secretary was a card that was in the original Code of the Duelist set. She was also reprinted in the Structure deck Cyberse Link and the Starter deck Codebreaker, and was in some tins and has been reprinted a couple of times. She's a very iconic card. Operator came out a little later in Flames of Destruction the following year, but was still, like, part of this setup. And like we said at the start, this is the other half of Cyberse aesthetics, where it's just like, what if you're just a cybergoth cosplayer? That's it. Like, it's not bad, but also the character design is way simpler. You can see it with these two. They've got a lot of that, like, weird, like, transparent plastic stuff going on. Backup Secretary has, like, some Tron lines on her, like, leggings. They're both wearing VR headsets and the giant anime robot earphone things. Operator there is apparently sitting on a recliner chair that has robot legs. It's the buddy bot from Death Stranding. I do like the Backup Secretary has, like, they're not really hair decks, but she's got, like, dangling, like, USB or HDMI cords. Ugh.
These just look like cyber women. Sorry to say.
Yeah. Sorry, I paused there to roll my neck a little. Secretary, I think, is the better known of the two, but these are both pretty common Cyberse extenders. Secretary is a light Cyberse 3, 1200 attack and injured defense. If you control a Cyberse monster, you can special summon her from your hand. You can only special summon her once per turn that way. Again, literal free extension. Backup Operator has the exact same stats. Light, Cyberse 3, etc. She just says that you can target a face-up monster to link monster points to, special summon this card from your hand, return that monster to the hand. If you do special summon this way, banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effective Operator once per turn. So Operator is another one that's like not as free because you got to kind of go +0 unless your opponent puts a monster in a zone that your link monster points to, or you put your link monster in a zone pointing to an opponent's monster, in which case, so long as it's face up, backup Operator gets to bounce it. I think the fact that like Secretary is just literal free extension. Once per turn, special summoner if you control a Cyberse. She's just, like, way more popular. I only have a card that I'm not sure where I should have put him because he is kind of just a man, but his name is an animal pun. So, like, I don't know. But this is another one that you've seen about 10 billion times, Loth. And I've actually played this card. Like, this card was actually pretty good in early Live Twin. It's Boot Staggered. Boot Staggered. Because he has antlers. Get it? Yeah, this guy is shockingly good for like an early Link card. But like I said, I wasn't sure whether this guy should be What If Animal but Cyber or just a guy because, like, he's both. Or it might be a she with that fucking, hip-waist chest ratio. I don't fucking know. It's probably a guy because of the antlers, though there are species of reindeer that I believe both genders are antlered. But, what a design,
guys,
chat.
don't make fun of me. This is my Cyberse Sona.
Yeah, what a design, chat. Antlers, dumb headset. That thing isn't a tail. That's Boot Staggered's hair. Or headpiece, I should say, because it's a robot guy. But still, like, that little glowing dongle goes all the way from his head to the bottom. He's got spikes on his arms for no reason. Coming out of the back of his arms. I do not know what the elbow things are. I think those are the shoulder pads, like, curling around.
They've got
What I'm
Fire
saying is
Emblem Awakening feet.
What I'm saying is that Boot Staggered, while not non-Euclidean, is a little fucked up, chat. Little goofed. So, you know, staggered boot, or just booting in general is a Cyberse thing, but also it's got antlers. So, you know, the stag-er. But Boot Staggered is a light Cyberse level 5, 2300 attack, 500 defense. So, you know, same attack stat as a Code Talker. When a Cyberse monster is normal summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can use this effect of Boot Staggered once per turn. When this card inflicts battle damage, summon a Stag token, which is a level 1 Cyberse token, which is 0 attack, 0 defense. Yeah, this is a guy who's just super annoying because it's a relatively free extender in Cyberse decks. It makes a token. And chat, you want to know why I played this in Live Twin? Because you can chain block. Normal summon a Kiss a Killer Lilla. You get to activate their effect as CL1. You activate Boot Staggered as CL2. Your opponent cannot Ash your Live Twin.
Yeah.
The dumb shit we would do back in the day to dodge Ash Blossom. But no, this is another guy you've probably seen a gajillion of. Anytime there's a Cyberse deck, I think that uses a normal summon, I think people will look at Boot Staggered just because it is a level 5. It's like kind of a Cyber Dragon type thing.
I was gonna say he's like a Cyber Dragon, but there's also another card that is specifically almost more of a Cyber.
Oh
Dragon.
yes, yeah. The Cyberse decks also have a Cyber Dragon, but what if also he had a good effect? What if he was fucking Oh God, the Snipe Hunter. His name escaped me for a second. What if Cyber Dragon and Snipe Hunter had a baby? Sorry, I need to perfect my TikTok AI voice.
Oh,
What if
please
Snipe
don't.
Hunter and Cyber Dragon had a baby?
It would own 7 oil companies and be super fantastic.
Yeah, that's right, AI voiced ads. I know who you fucking are. I hate your guts. Go away. Why anybody would click on your slop, I don't know. But we're going to look at a couple of things. Some code monsters. Not code talkers, but code monsters. These are both probably, and there's a couple of other later that I've matched up. These are supposed to probably be the baby forms of code talkers. The
Mini
two-gun one...
cons.
Yeah, the two-gun one is probably transcode, because it's also got hex shoulders. And I would assume that the blue one is code Radiator, is supposed to be shooting code.
I would have also accepted it was an X code.
Yeah, the thing is that Radiator is water. So, other than them being kind of, like you said, mini-con forms, though, once again, Radiator here is like secret mermail. A big secret mermail energy. Oh, I should technically say, like, secret Marincess, but also, Marincesses don't look like that. Marincesses are just women. They're
It's
just
fucking
gals.
pose though with its hands out like, what? What do you want from me?
Yeah, we're doing some big comic book pose energy.
I even put my own hands up when I said that because that's the energy you get.
So, Code Generator is a level 3 Earth Cyberse. 1300 attack, 500 defense. If a Cyberse monster you control uses link material for a Code Talker, this card in your hand can also be used as material. So, Generator is used from hand. There's a couple of different cards that do that. If this card was sent from the hand or field to the graveyard as material for the link summon of a Code Talker monster, you can send a Cyberse with 1200 or less attack from your deck to the graveyard. Or, if this card was used as material on the field, add that card to your hand. You're going to use each effect once per turn. So, Generator just is a free extender.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it in hand to make a link monster, specifically to make a Code Talker, and if that doesn't work, you can, or if it does work, or if you get it on board, you can get extra stuff. But it's also a Foolish Burial, and like, hey, guess what? We talked about this. Cyberse's theme is kind of summoning lots of little guys so you can link them off into bigger guys. Cyberse monsters have a shitload of revival from graveyard. So, Foolishing is like adding to hand.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, inhaled the last
eating
of my
chicken.
food. I'm good.
Yeah. At least he has chicken.
Sorry.
Careful.
I already forgot that name. But the one on the right really does give me fucking Morphtronic vibes.
Yeah, kind of. It's Generator. I will agree. I don't know if many of these like have actual like solid identities. You know, but let's grab
Genophon. Generator
Okay.
Fawn.
Radiator. Radiator is a water level 4 Cyber, 600 attack and defense. If a Cyberse monster you control uses link monster for Code Talker, you can use this card in your hand. If this card is sent from the hand or field, this is link material links are target one face of monster opponent controls. Change its attack to 0, negates effects. This card was used on the field as a material. You can target 2 monsters instead. You can use each effect once per turn. So yeah, Radiator's another one that just like if you're actually playing a Code Talker deck, Radiator's a lot better. It gives you some like some response potential to go back and forth. And does a few things. Let me speedily look through some cards about what we should grab next. Nah. There's a shitload of cards that are actually named Cyberse. Like, they have the name type in their name. I think only a few of them are actually relevant to us. So let's grab another one here. One of them is, I think, relevant because it has a funny name combination. And that is this boy we're about to pull up. Cyberse gadget. That's right. He's a Cyberse and a gadget. I gotta say, I'm looking at this guy. The other thing that's really gadget-like about him is that he's short, I guess.
Sorry, it was bothering me, so I had to go find a better GIF. But we moved on to something else.
Yeah. Cyberse gadget. The gadget.
It just looks like he stole a USB stick. It's like, this is my arm now.
Yeah, he's got a weird keyboard arm. He's got some weird plugs and wires. He's just existed.
So I had the dumbest thought because, again, as I said, it looks like a USB stick. Randy Pitchford's USB stick has come to life. No.
Whole
If anyone remembers that weird fiasco. Ugh.
But yeah, Cyberse Gadget is a light Cyberse level 4, 1400 attack, 300 defense. This card's normal summon, target a level 2 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated in defense position. If this card's on the field of the graveyard, special summon a gadget token. You can use this effect once per turn. So it's a generic Cyberse extender. Like I said, it's kind of gadget themed because it's got a thing on normal summon. But other than that, it's just a generic token creator when you link away. There were a shitload of these cards that were problematic. Cyberse Gadget itself was not problematic because it's not a tuna, so you can't summon it off Halkifibrex. But you see it a decent number of times in these decks. It was originally in one of the, whatchamacallits, the structure decks. But you see it in a lot of, it's been reprinted several times, I should say. All right, I hope chat's ready for this fucking guy.
No.
We're doing a man. Behold, Cyberse White Hat.
Ah!
It's a guy.
I remember trying to make this guy work when we played Prague, and he didn't fucking work.
No, this guy was only printed the one time. I'm pretty sure he's in the anime a decent amount, but yeah, no, it's not great. He's in the starter deck.
What is he looking? He's trying to mix a fucking cowboy and ninja aesthetic.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he's wearing body armor, but it is all black and kind of segmented. He's got a huge belt buckle. But he's got like a lower face covering. I guess it's because so he's called, Cyberse White Hat. He's clearly called White Hat as in a white hat hacker, a quote-unquote good guy hacker, the hacker you pay to be on your side and, test your security and shit. But he is still a hacker, so I assume that's why he's got kind of like a weird outlaw theme. But yeah, I don't know why he's wearing a fucking Kaiba-ass coat with giant lapels, but also a fucking cowboy hat.
And fingerless gloves.
Fingerless gloves. Well, fingerless gloves are pretty Yu-Gi-Oh! Core, but yeah, no, it's weird. I think he's got just jeans on under his, armored boots, his thigh-high armored boots. I don't know, man. He's a weird guy. Cyberse White Hat's a level 6 light monster. He's a Cyberse, obviously. He's 1800 attack, 2400 defense. If you control two or more monsters of the same type, special summon this card from your hand. You can special summon him once per turn this way. This card's sent to the graveyard to make as link material. Make all monster opponent controls lose 1000 attack until the end of this turn. Just pretty generic Cyberse extension. Technically, it works in any mono attribute deck, but he himself is Cyberse, so you're probably playing it in a Cyberse deck. And he just makes extra guys and reduces your opponent's power.
Just remember the effect being difficult to get off.
Yeah, you had to actually stick 2 monsters. And you remember I said that some of these guys are just like Cybergoth cosplayers. Not White Hat, but our next guy. We'll just leave White Hat behind. Cyberse Wizard.
Yeah.
He's a wizard who's Cyberse.
To be fair, it's a decent aesthetic for Cyber and Wizard.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
I mean, he's dressed like a Yu-Gi-Oh wizard, but it's got some like cyberpunk aspects. Like he's technically wearing like he's got like the pointy wizard hat, but it's actually a hoodie hood,
Yeah.
which is kind of neat. He's got some extra shoulder pads, but you can see they've got like clips or carabiners or something. You know?
And vents.
Yeah. He's doing all right. He's not the worst, but like I said, this is definitely a cyber goth kid.
Yeah.
even
He's not
got, like, emo
egregious.
hair. But he's clearly of his time.
This looks like the kind of fucking guy who would show up in a Yu-Gi-Oh episode, take off the hood and be like, "It was me all along,"
Then I'd be like, who?
and then pull out the dual disc, and then duel you
jam the dual
himself.
disc. I was behind everything.
Okay, yeah, decent design. What does he do?
Cyberse Wizard is a light Cyberse level 4, 1800 attack, 800 defense, so keeping with a decent number of these guys having decent stats. But says, once per turn, target attack position opponent's monster, change it to defense. If you do the rest of the turn, your monsters can't attack except that monster. If your opponent attacks if your Cyberse monster inflicts defense position, and inflict piercing. It's a weird anime effect. Like, it's cute. Doesn't do anything against Lynx.
Nope.
So yeah, another guy they printed a couple of times, but clearly went to the wayside. That's why they retrained him. Sorry.
Did things get silent all of a sudden? Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it's typing. Yeah, I know. I don't have anything to say about Cyberse Wizard. He's not a good card. They retrained him twice. They made him a Link monster later, and then they also made him a Wizard at Ignister, which is actually, I'm pretty sure, a good card. Let's cleanse the palette with yet another really fucking good card. Lady Debug. She also kind of like splits the difference between being what if animal but cyber because she is a ladybug. But she is also a lady. Big poofy pants, big smile.
Again, just a Digimon.
This one really is just a Digimon. But yeah, Lady Debug is a light Cyberse level 4, 700 attack, 1400 defense. And her effect is very simple. If discard is normal or special summoned, add 1 level 3 or lower Cyberse from your deck to your hand. You're going to use this effect once per turn. She's just a extender, a searcher. You see Lady Debug to this day crop up in, again, all kinds of decks. Are you playing Cyberses that are level 3 or lower? You're probably playing, you're considering Lady Debug for sure. All right, our next guy's pretty obscure, but he's funny, so I had to include him in the mix-up. And that's Launcher Commander. Launcher Commander. This is a generic cyber support guy, but like, damn, look at him, chat. This guy's literally a Gundam. As in, he's a gun tank. Sloth just snickering in the background.
Yeah, yeah. The way you said it, along with just what this guy looks like.
Yeah, no. You hear the phrase launcher commander, you look at it and you're like, yeah, I don't know what else you'd call that guy. He's out here vibing. So launcher commander is an Earth Cyberse level 4, 1700 attack to 1200 defense. A lot of 1700s in Cyberses. But he says all other Cyberse monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense. Once per turn, you contribute a Cyberse monster. Target a face-up card your opponent or face-up monster your opponent controls. Destroy it. These are the kind of cards that lots of types have. This is just, the one that fulfills it for Cyberse. So he's like on a okay body. But he's not, the greatest in the world. All right, let's grab another guy. This guy's important because he'll be an added Nister later if we do that episode. Maybe next week. Maybe Dallas will be free of COVID. We can do added Nister. Sorry, I'm yawning a little bit. We can sit here for a little bit.
Yeah.
God, this guy's even weirder than I thought. Sorry, it's Link Slayer.
Pull him
you
up.
want to talk about once again? You want to talk about Digimon? I think this guy is a Digimon. He's like wearing Leotron as like a suit. Like I didn't realize that.
Hello, Doothmon, aka Dukemon.
Yeah, like he's
Let me pull up a fucking picture.
He's
Oh,
got
no, wrong
weird laser scythes. But he's like, a guy in an animal-themed armor suit with a cape.
Ah, here it is, Leopardmon. But he is known as Doothmon in in Japanese. Okay, hold on. Like, posting it in the FP chat. This is just him.
You are right. This is just that guy. I will pull it up on screen briefly.
Like, sure, different weapons, but he's just covering him up. Yes.
Hey, wait, guess what, chat? Now you're that guy. I send you that dimension now, chat. Are you having fun?
Actually,
yeah, no, but
that reminds me. Sorry, quick question, Omega. Have you played any of the Cyber Sleuth games?
oh god, which they have confusing names. I own one and I played a little bit of the tutorial, but I did not get very far. It's on my eternal list of things to like get back to.
They're good. For PS Vita games ported over, and they're pretty good.
Oh, it's good to hear him out there, but yeah, Rinkushreya is one of those guys who, like, you've probably seen him. This guy's still, like, an SR in Master Duel. Like, he's a fairly decent generic guy who also arguably is a good Cyberse extender. So, Link Slayer is an Earth Cyberse level 5, 2000 attack, 600 defense. If you control no monsters, you can special summon them from your hand. Once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards, target that many spell traps, and destroy them. Yeah, that's just there are decks that play this that aren't even Cyberse decks. This guy's just free guy and a spell trap pop. He is level 5, so I don't know if anybody's ever tried to, and a level 5 Earth at that. I don't know if anybody's tried to make him work in like K9 VS. You probably have other pops in that deck, but like there have been a lot of times when spell trap removal is absolutely essential, and just Link Slayer is just, it's him. He's here. He's in like 3 starter decks for a reason. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't like this guy.
Oh no, he's annoying because he's just a free summony. A free sumini. All right. I think the way this is going, we're not going to get to the Cynet spell traps and the code talkers who got later. So guess what? We won't talk about access code today. We'll try and get some more people, and then we'll fork that into Adagnister, maybe.
Yeah, it's a
But
shame
there's a
that
few more of
Access
these
Elite
guys.
and Despair just exploded.
Yeah. Vesper shows online now, but I also don't know how it's going for them. You and I had problems with the VC as well, so. And Dallas is still sick. Like, he's talking in our tabletop chat, but he's also like, yes, hello, I'm here, but my brain is melted. So I wouldn't want to think.
I was.
I wouldn't want to think
sorry.
about code talkers at that rate. Sorry, I got lost looking through my fucking tabs. Actually, talking about having 80 tabs open, and I'm like, I wouldn't be able to find anything. I do get a decent number of tabs. Like, I can go double digits sometimes when I'm, like, researching something. But no, that's too many tabs to cycle through. I would never know where anything is. But we're gonna try and wrap up in around 10ish p.m. my time in about 15 minutes. We'll see. Assuming that Wikipedia doesn't slow me down too much. But we're gonna talk about another little guy. Which is very funny also, though, because this guy, which is Microcoder, was originally not a structure deck or starter deck card, was a promo card for Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. Back when they did that. But yeah, this one I'm pretty sure is supposed to be Decode Talker, but little. Because he's got a sword. Actually, technically, I think he's got the color scheme of normal Code Talker, which is a guy we haven't talked about yet. Because it took him a couple of years, I think, to come out with just Code Talker. The Cody Lodi. But yeah, this guy's funny because he's a promo card. Microcoder is a Dark Cyberse level 1, 300 attack, 0 defense. If a Cyberse monster you control uses Link material as a Code Talker, you can use it from your hand. That's basically what all the little forms do. If this card's sent from the hand or field as material for the Link summon of a Code Talker, add a Cynet spell trap from your deck to your hand. Or if this card on the field was used, you can add a level 4 Cyberse instead. You can only use each effect of Microcoder once per turn. Honestly, you're probably using the Cynet spell trap thing, because that's a really good, like, searcher effect.
Yeah.
Like, he's a very normal extra guy.
Now, to bring another weird one into this, he just looks like a Metabot.
With his big head and kind of big legs, yeah, he is kind of a Metabot. You know, it's not a Metabot? This guy. Widget
What?
Kid. Widget Kid. Who does have an upgraded Link form, Cyberse Wicked.
Yeah, I was about to. Yeah.
This one just kind of looks like a fairly generic, like cyber cartoon type stuff.
Yeah.
You'd see this shit on Saturday morning on Kids WB or something. Or whatever your local equivalent is. Anyway, Widget Kid is another Earth Cyber, so we're really all over the place with these. Level 3, 1500 attack, 900 defense. If you're normal or special summon a Cyber from your hand in defense position, you can use this effect once per turn. Once again, Extender! Hey, it's like you got a thing. You need more monsters to make more links. Honestly, there being so many of these fucking Earth Cyberses makes me understand why Mrs. Radiant saw so much play. as like one of our first generic Link 2s. Speaking of generic Link 2, let's run through some Link Monster upgrades and then call it a day. This is Backup Supervisor. This is the Link 2 version of Backup Secretary. Her HDMI cables are now something. Jolly Ranchers? Christmas lights? Laser tentacles?
Now she's the one who's gonna get you
Yeah.
with lasers.
Her lapel is bigger. Also, sorry, I thought of that just as I said that her collar is bigger. I think her boobs are bigger.
Your tier 3 subscription has been denied. Be gone, blam.
Mods. So did the Shadow Realm.
No, that's a case of mods. Wait, no, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. So you go mod check, and then you're like, no? Good. Backup Supervisor is a light
Divine
Cyberse.
Skeleton Death Blast.
Divine Skeleton Death Blast, yes. A Cyberse Link 2. Actually, that's a J video I haven't seen in a while. Cyberse Link 2 Light has bottom and then the right most error. Still 1200 attack in Link 2. Exactly 2 monsters. If you link summon this card using Backup Secretary's material and your monster, this card battles points to an opponent's monster at the end of the damage steps, which summon a Cyberse from your hand. This card is destroyed by battle, or its owner's possession is destroyed by one of its card effects, which summon a Backup Secretary from your deck, hand, deck, or graveyard. You can use each effect once per turn. Supervisor is cute. I think she was good in some brews back in the day, but just like a strict like link upgrade to even a good Cyberse extender is just kind of weird. Like, the effect if she's actually link summoned by using Backup Secretary is just kind of like, okay. But her float effect, just grab a Backup Secretary, is pretty good. So you saw her in some brews. I think she mostly gets cut for space these days, especially because, like I said, they have several retrains of the Secretary. Actually, I thought Wicked was like Widget Kid, but actually he's kind of doing his own thing. I think he's related to Cyberse Witch. Anyway, here is Cyberse Wicked, though. Wicked. Wikido. It's another kid protagonist. Got cyber thighs to go with your cyber socks, suspenders. Big ass head.
Yes, the Shota kid.
Something like that. Big ass head. Cyberse Wicked is a dark Cyberse Link 2. Got bottom center, bottom right arrows, 800 attack, requires exactly 2 Cyberse monsters. This Link summoned card can't be destroyed by battle or other card effects. Cyberse monsters this card points to can't be destroyed by card effects. If a monster special summoned to a zone this card points to while you control this monster, 700 damage step. Banish Cyberse from your graveyard, add a Cyberse Tuna from your deck to your hand. You can use this effect once per turn. So, Wicked is another, like, Link Climbing Extraordinaire setup card. You set it up to give your guys protection if you can. You can actually also set it up if your deck relies on Cyberse tuners, of which there are a few. There's quite a few of them you can run through there. But I said earlier that I think actually that Cyberse is Wicked is related to this card, which is Cyberse Witch. And Witch has seen a little less play than Wicked, I think, because Wicked just gets you Cynet stuff and tuners. Witch is got the exact same stats. She just has the link arrow in the other corner, in the left corner. Otherwise, all the same. And she just says if a monster special summon to a zone this card points to, you can banish a spell from your graveyard, add a Cyberse ritual monster and a Cynet ritual from your deck to hand. During your main phase, if this effect is activated, target a level 4 or lower Cyberse in your graveyard. Special summon it. You can use each effect once per turn. So she just sets up your ritual stuff for Cyberse things. That's another one where I have those cards in my list to talk about, but since we're not going to talk about the Cynet spells, we'll skip it for now.
Yeah. Hopefully we have more people. And hopefully someone who's actually played the deck. I assume Fitzpair has more knowledge about this stuff than either of us.
Vesper was playing around the time Link came out, so... And like I said, I know... I'm sure Dallas has plumbed the depths of the generic Cyberse extra decks in trying to figure out access code, or not access code, Ad Ignister. Ad Ignister talker. That's technically not even a joke. That guy's real. Like I said, if we also add Ad Ignister to the list, we might get some extra coverage out of there. This is just Elphase. They're a cyber elf. I wanted to include them because their name is Elphase. Also, they are in the Cyberse. Actually, no, they're in Fist of the Gadgets, so they're just a kind of a generic Cyberse extendee. They're a wind Cyberse. They have the forward arrow and the rightmost arrow. 2 level 3 or higher Cyberse monsters. Gain 300 attack for each monster this card points to. Also has 2,000 attack on a Link, too. If this Link summon card leaves the field, target a level 4 lower Cyberse in your graveyard, special summon it. For the rest of this turn, its effects, if any, are negated and can't be used as Link material. You're going to use each effect once per turn. I'm pretty sure Elphase was in some stuff. But our last couple of guys, you'll recognize. The first one is a weird little one. This is Talkback Lancer. And this looks like the I almost want to say the block version of the Code Talkers. It's like a toy version of a Code Talker.
And the fact it's called Talk Back.
Yeah.
Like specifically, like, oh, this is your opposite, and it's a Lancer.
Wow. Anyway, this is a Weedle Link 1 guy. He's a Dark Cyberse. Link 1 has the downward facing arrow, 1200 attack, which is pretty good for a Link 1. He's decent. He does require a level 2 or lower Cyberse monster. Tribute one other Cyberse monster. Target a Code Talker in your graveyard with a different name than that monster. Special summon it to the zone this card points to. You're going to use the effect of Talkback Lancer once per turn. So yeah, this is a little guy who, like, forks into your Code Talkers if you have them left over. So it is a Code Talker related monster. But he's not a Code Talker himself. But also, I think the lowest they go with Code Talker... Inverted might be a 1, but I think regular Code Talkers are 2. Boneless Code Talker. Again, we'll do all that and some other stuff on the next episode. It's not that I'm afraid of doing longer episodes, right? But I don't like to do long episodes when it's just me and one person, whether that's Loth or Axe or even like Dallas or Vesper. Just because it feels like when it's just it feels like the time goes by more when it's just the two of you because more of you have to say things.
Yeah.
God help me.
Like,
I don't
when
like to
it's
do
just-
long episodes when it's just me alone.
Yeah, when it's just the two of us, it's like you can really kind of feel the silence.
Yeah, that moment when either of us has nothing to say or we've out of things to say. But let's look at it. 56? Yeah. I was wondering if we could get Link Karibo in here, but we'll skip it. That guy's actually good. We can start next time with him. We'll end with Trigate Wizard. A guy who actually does some stuff.
Yes, this guy
This
has
guy
done
is
things.
a cover card on Structure Deck Cyberse Link, so one of the Structure Deck cards, one of the covers. And he's pretty infamous. His design's pretty good. I wonder if this is supposed to be an upgraded form of Cyberse White Hat. Because if he is, it's a pretty good glow up. Also, I'm pretty sure this guy is, once again, a Digimon, because, like, look at his weird feet. He's got weird lance feet. Or they're like pins. But you can tell he's tri because he's got like a tricolor theme. You know, his 3 scarves become 3 different colored arrows. He's got a weird staff. Honestly, pretty neat design.
Yeah. It's... What's the best way to put this? He gives off the weird feeling of fucking Piedmon if he was like a weird wizard hat guy. You know?
Mm-hmm. He is a weird wizard. Well, this guy, I should say, is a weird wizard hat guy for sure.
Yeah, instead of leaning hard into the clown aesthetic, it was, what if wizard?
Wizard. But Dragon's a guy who actually, I believe, has tops back in the day. It's a very classic card. It's an Earth Cyberse. Link 3. He's got the T, or the reverse T, I should say, because it's forward and left and right. 2+ monsters, except tokens. This card came out late enough actually, no, this was still pretty early. This was like the first 6 months. They just thought this guy would be too good with tokens. But he's 2+ monsters, except tokens. Gains the following effects based on the number of monsters co-linked with this card, meaning you have a very easy way to set up multiple variables here.
I just came up with an even dumber thing related to this guy being alternate Piedmon in my head for some reason. You see how his little scarves are 3 different colors? Each one could signify the other 3 Dark Masters.
I was having fun.
I have fond memories of Digimon Season 1.
Yeah, it's a pretty classic.
Okay, but yes, please go on, Omega.
Yeah. Gains effects based on the number of monsters co-linked. Once again, to remind you, co-linked is you have to have a link monster pointing on both sides of the arrows. 1+, if a monster co-linked this card battles points monster, any battle damage is doubled. 2+, once per turn, target a card in the field. Banish that shit. Non-destruction banish. 3, once per turn, when a card effect is activated, negate, and if you do, banish. So, like, obviously this card requires a little setup because it has to be co-linked to do that. But yeah, no, this is, like, one of the, like, win cons of old school link spam decks was you would set up your board in such a way as to make Trigate, possibly while also you linking your opponent, you know, like locking them out of the game. And that would mean you'd get double battle damage on like 4 guys because everybody's co-linked. Actually, no, co-linked to this card, so it's 3 guys. But still, like 3 guys get double battle damage. You get a once per turn non-destruction banish. And then also a once per turn quick effect negate. On top of the fact that you could be playing this guy with something like a decode talker for another negate or some of the other guys we've talked about. A very classic guy. So much so that like some people were like, he was reprinted in like crossover breakers in the Malice set. I think the actual Malice Link 3s are much better than actually playing Trigate Wizard. But like Trigate Wizard is a guy that whenever there is a Cyberse deck that is good, including like Malice and Live Twin setups, people go, shit, can I play Trigate Wizard? Like, he's endured. You probably don't because he's not that good anymore with the amount of extra work you need to do, right? But, like, again, this is the kind of guy that, like, some people are just so cottoned on to him that they're like, oh, shit, Trigate Wizard. And like I said, it's 10 p.m. exactly now, chat. We've been streaming for about 2:45. It's a little shorter, but obviously we lost some people along the way. Discord is a little cooked, so I think we'll take the scuff and run with it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We do have a poll up. I'm not going to check how the poll's doing because I want to get out of here before 10 million years pass. But basically, I think next week we'll check in. We'll hopefully have more people on, or we'll get started a little sooner so Axe can talk more about Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Because we started by talking about rules and stuff, rulings. maybe they'll have the ban list out or not. I don't know. I know how much you love ban list reactions. But, sorry, blinking away. A little bit of allergy eyes.
Yeah.
But we'll wrap up the rest of the code talkers, because there are some extra ones that came out later, like I said. We'll talk about the Cynet spell traps, because there are a lot of really good spell traps related to kind of cyber stuff generically. And depending on how long that goes, we'll cram the Adignisters in there as well. Because I mentioned it, but there is literally like a whole new wave of access code or Adignister stuff. Including the allied code talker, who is like a new... It's like if Adignister and access code talker were together, basically, is that big guy. But yeah, there's basically a whole, like, new conflation archetype of bringing code talker and Yusaku-themed stuff and Adignister together. So, also, if we do Adignister, that means that we can do the fucking... God off. You thought the animal puns were bad? You haven't seen shit until you get to I Land or AI Love You. AI Land? Did you get it, chat? There's a lot of AI puns. AI Meet You. But also the Adignister boys have been like independently good at different times. So thanks for tuning into our first block of this. Sorry we were a little scuffed there, but Discord is apparently melting down.
Thanks to all those who showed up.
Yeah, I saw a few of you. We had obviously several chatters, but also I saw a few of you bouncing up and down the concurrence. We'll see you next week. Hopefully Discord is okay tomorrow, because we'll be streaming Final Fantasy XIV. I'm determined to do the moon stuff that I didn't do last time, because we blocked into extremes for like 3 hours. And probably start my new relic. But I'll be seeing you then. If you didn't see it, check out yesterday's stream. Lucky in the driver's seat, me riding shotgun. We finished Death Stranding.
Woo!
Death Stranding number 1 is done. So if you want to see the conclusion of that, go for it. Also, feel free to go to that stream and comment what you would like us to do next. We're kind of workshopping a couple different Resident Evil picks. So, you know, what you'd like to see. Give us your suggestions. It's a little early to be spooky, but we're a little spooky. And thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.